YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Moto. All right, here we go. Spawning up in the top left. It is Hyper One's Han Mono. We're going to pay more attention to when he starts his barracks this time, since he's doing the depot in the back again. Spawning down on the bottom right, it is 3x Mula Defi. In the red. Yeah, one thing I've noticed is that Terrans tends to actually have money for the barracks. Okay, yeah. Okay, this time Han Mono was actually very late with sending the SCV. Yeah, I agree. Maybe I think it's starting the depot late special. If you're still taking a look at this. I wonder if it's something to do with the worker pairing early on. Like, if you get a really good worker pair, that enables you to get a better depot timing. Which is what actually gates your barracks, right? I wonder if you gave this to, like, an AI that had perfect worker splits, would they actually send, like, a second SCV or something? Like, would they do the same thing and send a second SCV or something? Yeah, Cooked Mono is the Korean player Han Mono. Probably his most famous result is actually 2-0ing Hearthstone at DreamHack Dallas. Oh, man, DreamHack Dallas was actually so hype. There were so many sick matches from the open brackets. The coolest one by far was Rogue getting beat by Mana initially. Mana with the cannon rush. God, that was so sick. Oh, that was so cool. Oh, once again, Han Mono trying to force the issue, but he actually gets the inside track Defi. Oh, no. Oh, that is painful. Han Mono tried to force the issue in game one. But wasn't able to. This time, up a ramp, he actually gets the dub on that fight. I feel like this is the kind of thing that on EU, you probably don't basically ever see at this level in TVT, is like no one is going up a ramp with their first Reaper, like without an SCV specifically. But if you don't have the muscle memory to expect that kind of thing, it can catch you out pretty hard. Han Mono is going to go with 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion, I'm sure of it. And Defi is just down a unit. This legitimately could be the game right here if Han Mono gets the right fight. But this time, ramp is going to make a much bigger difference. Oh, no target fire from Defi, whereas Han Mono gets the first Hellion immediately. Uh-oh. Defi in Trub. He is going to for sure lose all of his units. He's going to lose at least a few SCVs here. Even with fantastic worker repair micro, or just micro in general, you're not losing less than a couple. And he is going to lose more than a couple. He's going to lose 5. Actually, he's going to lose 6. Oh, man. Didn't realize that one was already wounded that was in the gas. That is painful. That's why I said, technically speaking, it's a correct statement. But I think Terran is maybe the hardest. It's in the position where it's probably the hardest to play that it's ever been in TVP. I think Terran played perfectly is just insanely strong in TVP right now. But I think playing Terran perfectly, the requirements to do so are truly ludicrous. Defi is going to add a 4th gas. This feels to me like a second starport, but no, it's going to be mech. Second factory. What? I mean, when you take a lot of damage early, mech is one of the ways you can kind of come back in a game. what made the matchup change so much? I mean, honestly, it's quite interesting because in many ways, Terrans should be stronger than they were last patch. But I think... I genuinely don't really think Ghost was, or Storm was nerfed anywhere near as much as people think. It fulfills a very different role. It's a lot more complex than people realize, but like Charge is a really, really strong ability. And I think it was kind of overshadowed by the power of Storm in the last patch. Oh, we are going to see a very aggressive move forward coming in. I do think Hero has leveled up his game in a way that people aren't really prepared for. Is this going to end the game? Auto turrets came down. No, it's not quite going to end the game, but it's going to do a lot of damage. Oh, dropping the auto turret kind of defensively. Actually, might kill that Viking. Yes, it does. Oh, that's painful. Definitely going to try and counterpunch. Hanmano is a 3-base Terran that just pushed into a 2-base mech Terran while taking a turbo-greedy 4th and now 5th base. Hanmano, we gotta chill, my guy. He scans. He can't... No, he's not going to cancel the base. That is actually unhinged behavior. He did save all his Ravens. And Defi... I mean, Defi is pretty much completely all in. The Armory is an interesting choice because... Is he going to make Hellbats? Is he going to morph Hellbats? Will repair up the Ravens, going to repair up tanks. Storm feels much better in PvZ than PvT now. For sure. But the thing is, it fulfills a different role in PvT. We are going to be seeing... It's honestly like the way the ecos scale at this point more than anything. Defi, yeah, he's going to kill this base. Hanmano, oh, is going to eat 2 big interference matrices. He wants to try and clear this. I think Defi might have him. Hanmano, the greed was insane. And it is going to get punished super hard. He doesn't get the kill on this last tank. And now there's no defenses. Defi can walk up to the ramp, siege it, and end the game. Very well done from Defi here. And Hanmano is absolutely... Oh, hang on. Hold that thought. As the tanks siege up, SCVs will pull. There's no combat shields, though, which means that stimmed Marines are getting one-shotted by the tanks. Hanmano comes pretty close to breaking. He might still be able to survive here and recover. Does he have any interference matrices available? Not yet. He does have auto turrets, though, and there's nothing really to defend these tanks. No stim coming through from Hanmano, despite the fact that now combat shields is done. Never mind. Oh my god, we're making barracks over here. Defi doesn't realize that Hanmano is still mining the same amount as he is. With the potential to be mining even more. Scan comes in, sees this base is not even done yet. Oh, the SCVs. Oh no, they actually end up stacking up. Air advantage now going in the favor of Hanmano for the moment. Oh, another tank goes down. Defi is tightening the noose, but he hasn't fully cinched it off yet. A medevac, by the way, and just 2 medevacs. 2 medevacs right now, dropping on top of the tanks. Or maybe not now, because now there's 6 tanks. But if he had done this earlier... A single Liberator, he hasn't quite won the air war hard enough. And in fact, he's not been prioritizing air units. He's got gas right now. Oh, we're going to see a big pull coming in here. Hanmano needs to split like a god, but is it going to be enough? Oh, Defi caught targeting Marines that were split away, and that will be an incredible break. And Hanmano, he has survived. And now Defi's like, wait a minute. There's an entire base over here. Oh, God, the SCVs. Oh, the battle SCVs. Hellbat morph, though. Oh, he does get the kill before the first Hellbat finishes morphing. That will enable him to clean this up. 9 more SCVs do go down. Another base. He scouts both bases, and he's got to be like, wait, what am I playing right now? I agree. I think Hanmano does have this. Absolute cluster fluck of a game. There's just one tank. If Hanmano recognizes this, oh my God, the SCV pull again. This time it will be 2 Hellbats. I think the SCVs actually just outright lose this. Oh, no, they'll barely... Maybe? We should probably be watching the main fight. Yeah, it's going to be enough to break. Oh, there's another tank. Oh, 2 tanks behind. Hang on, now... Man, battle SCVs. So hot right now. This game is the most ridiculous.
SCV ready.
This is one of those games that after you've gotten out of it, as Defi, I'm going to assume this is a brain breaker, you know? This is the kind of game where you just cannot help but ball up your fist and just fume. Because if at any point he knew about this base, if he had gotten a little bit closer to the ramp here and proper locked it down, if he had not been caught unsieged with 7 tanks, this game is a completely different scenario. We're going to see mass repair coming in here. Once again, Hellbats on the top right, but this time there's a couple of units in defense. Is he actually going to kill the planetary? The repair is, like, really struggling. It drops below 100 HP, but he survives with the planetary. 2-2 now completing at the same time as +1 vehicle weapons for Defi. Actual banger of a game. Actual banger. Is it the most clean game, technically? Yeah, not a single flaw. No mistakes from either player. 100%. Absolutely immaculate game. No, this is going to be too much now. Planetary, even if it had a full repair on it, against that amount of 2-2 bio without the building armor, might have been too much, but it doesn't matter. GG is called. Mech player doesn't want a scrappy game. Unless they're Gumiho, then they will seek out scrappy game. Oh, wow. Percival versus Shameless. I mean, we can go Percy Shameless. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We'll do it. You asked very early on. We can pop it down. You need inspiration for how to win PvT? I will say, once again, if it gets to late game, it is very tough to beat a Terran that gets their 4 bases, gets their 2-2, gets their, you know, +2 ship weapons eventually. That's obviously a little bit later. Welcome, Zaldalapt. With the 3-stream streak. Very cool. I think the stream streak is one of the few things Twitch has done well recently. I think it's pretty nice. Feels very hard to prevent Terran from getting to the late game. Oh. Just have perfect stalker control and win on 2 base easy. Honestly, it is a lot more difficult than it's made out to be, for sure. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty underrated. But like at the high level, until you get to Terran players that can defend, you know, zealot run-bys constantly. A lot of it comes down to having a very clean early game as the Protoss. What's your level, Deadly Donkey Kitten? Give or take. Like, I'm not trying to shame. I'm just like, in order to have an idea of what you could be doing better. $5-2? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, honestly, I'd probably have to see a game. Peaked at 5-4. Nice. That is quite solid. All right, best of 3 TVP. Percival. Shameless. Do you struggle with, like, tank pushes or them getting to the late game, like, kind of for free? Because I do feel like, yeah, below really, really strong levels for the Protoss, it's not easy. Early and mid game is fine, in my opinion. Hope there is some Zerg on the menu later. I think there will be, Winter Palace. I think there will be. Welcome on YouTube, by the way. By the way, I did get my MMR back up to 5,005, which is the closest you can come to boob with MMR parameters as they are. So I'm pretty happy with that, you know. I did cap out at 5-1 this season, and it would have been nice to actually end the season officially at 5-1. I don't think that's on the menu. We'll see. What is my nick? Oh, I just played normal. It's on NA though. It's on NA server. I honestly, for me, the ping is, even playing to EU is like insufferable for me. It's really tough to deal with. And I know it's not that bad, and I could get like a VPN. But at this point, it's like, yeah, it's pretty kind of tough to deal with. All right, here we go. Spawning down on the bottom right. It is Kirktown's Percival. US West or East. I don't have any server blockers, which is funny because I'm talking about ping. And like, for example, I got Australia yesterday against a 4-6 Terran, which was not fun, but I managed to just all in. Brazil as well. Honestly, Brazil is actually, depending on time of day, it can be not that bad. And spawning down up in the top left, it is a Stanley Balls, Shameless. Yeah. Brazil server is brutal. Sometimes it is. Does VPN help with ping? Yeah, it absolutely can. So my understanding, and this is like very rudimentary. I genuinely know super, super little about it. But my understanding is it improves the routing. Because there are times where I'll actually play West server, and if it's a very busy time of day, playing from the East Coast to West server, like US West, feels or can feel worse than playing to EU. And that makes sense based on routing, because if it's routing through the entirety of the United States, like it's going through so many pockets of heavy traffic. For me, the thing... Oh, this probe is actually going to get picked off. I don't know why he put it on attack move. I wonder if he, like, box selected? Huh, kind of weird. Nice pick off there. Is this west or central? This is central, okay. Nice start for Percival, obviously. He's going to be happy about that. From UK towards EU server. With a VPN? I honestly have no idea, because once again, I might not even be correct with that being how VPNs work. This is like kind of hearing from people who know, I think, know more than I do. But my understanding would be, yeah, like it would be a more optimal route. I mean, honestly, I'm a fossil, so I like don't really know things that well. Oh, we are going to see 4-gate blink coming in from Shameless. Speaking of the blink aggression, I do think part of what it takes to be a very good Protoss player in PvT is going to need to be exceptional blink micro. By the way, we are going to be seeing hyperflight rotors. I was thinking when this patch first dropped, oh, a little bit of an oopsie shoot of his own Marine. Oopsie shoot. I was thinking when this patch first dropped that we were going to be seeing a lot more hyperflight rotors in this matchup, because I personally think it is such a good mix-up. Percival going mech. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. I think you can legitimately just get hyperflight rotors instead of cloak and have it be a very effective way to play. Like, you only need to catch the Protoss slightly out of position once for this to massively outvalue getting cloak. I won't say it is always going to be better, but I will say it can be a lot better. We are going to see the Hellion and Reaper getting into the natural, getting a couple of good lineup shots. Cloak, or pardon me, 4-gate blink on the other side of the map will be a problem. 3 probes go down. That's obviously good damage. Ooh, very nice pre-pull on the SCVs. That's going to be able to prepare up the bunker. Meanwhile, blink into the main base, but the tanks and SimCity are immaculate from Percival. Oh, he lifts the barracks. That was very scary right there for Percival. If Shameless had further committed in there, I don't... Oh, scan comes in, finds the Observer. That's really, really nice for Percival. Excellent early game so far from the Terran. I honestly think if Percival... Or pardon me, if Shameless commits in there, things go very, very well. Meanwhile, Banshees on the other side of the map, they show themselves at a very good timing. And these Stalkers are actually going to lose the fight, even with the 3rd Stalker warping in. Oh, does he get that last Banshee? He does not. This is actually disastrous. This might be... Okay, no, another Stalker shows up. Okay, okay. This is going to prevent this from becoming game. But Percival already has such an insanely good start. Look at this resources lost. Shameless has lost so many Stalkers already and has not killed a single tank. Has only gotten a handful of SCVs as well. I was going to say, with the hyperflight rotors, he can dart in and get a probe. Oh, he actually... Okay, he ends up losing everything. Nice job right there from Shameless. Quick response. It's kind of funny that you're like, oh, man, I want to know how Protosses beat Terrans. And here we're seeing Percival kind of manhandling Shameless in the opening interactions. Ultimately, I do think extremely good blink play. Oh, man. Another Stalker going down on the retreat and another one getting dragged back. I do think extremely good blink play is the key. It is a lot more difficult than it seems, but that's like one of the keys. We do have a lot of charge lots here. Not a lot of Widow Mines. One of them gets a good shot, though. Siege tanks will get some very good shots on the Stalkers. More than anything, they soak the Zealots' damage. He gets two of the three tanks. But I think Percival just has a little bit too much right now. No +1 weapons done just yet. And there are 10 gates done for Shameless, but he is just desperately trying to hold on. There is a Prism on the other side of the map. The Siege tank, last one does go down. Oh, and there's... I didn't even think about the DT Shrine. This is going to definitely break the momentum of Percival a little bit. But Percival says, nuh-uh, I've got the units here and now. Do we see an immediate scan? Not yet. Immortal is going to get taken down. There's a DT in the mix. There is the scan. Yeah, no, Percival still got him. He tries to break the momentum, but he can't. Very well done. Think Maru still shows a lot of different builds? He does. He does indeed. Oh, that's creator. Three CC into 5 racks is in like no factory, no starport. Okay, okay. I think, yeah, yeah. I would, unless I inquired, I would assume you just meant like 5 racks, no factory, no starport. I think that's just a misunderstanding of verbiage. Because 3cc is nothing new, but 3cc into 5 racks immediate push off of it, that is very new. That is something I have thought about. Not necessarily the 3cc, but like just playing mass barrack versus Protoss. But I haven't seen. I think because Blink can whittle down armies so quickly. At any rate, spawning down on the bottom left, it is Kirktown's Percival. In the blue. And his opponent spawning up at the top right for the Stalny Balls, it is Shameless. In the red. I would guess it was probably RSL, if anything, right? I have been meaning to get the replays for RSL and cover some of those. Cover the group stages. I got a little bit of mineral boosting coming in from Percival. Steadfast is smart. No, it's an illusion. I've tricked you all into thinking that. So smart, it's hot. Oh, nice interception. Almost gets the kill there. That will enable him to get the 1 racks expand without having to worry about being zippy zapped. Oh, man, that was... I actually just got a little bit triggered looking at the minerals of Percival. He got up to 395. And it didn't sit there for a super long time, but it was like a second, maybe a second and a half, and it just paused right there. It must have been like 6 SCVs all just about to drop off their payloads. As someone who really likes to optimize like the fastest possible command center, in my case, fastest possible hatchery, but like fastest possible town hall structure, having it be just 5 minerals short for like a decent bit of time feels awful. Oh, that was a very clever play. Yeah, Kindle Cloud Reader. I do remember that one. The 4cc. That was a super, super sick game from Maru. That was in Pigsty. Oh, God, that was actually such a cool game because it looked like he was as dead as you can possibly be, but he pulled off an insanely clutch defense. Just an absolutely insanely clutch defense. Skip bop bop. You missed Taja? Taja, TY, Maru. I mean, they've all got some really cool stuff. I think Gumiho is budget TY and you've never understood the hype. I mean, we just got to look at that one game he played versus Serral on Ancient Cistern to see that Gumiho has an Ultra Instinct mode that every so often he gets into and just turns into like... It's like pure power. Gumiho has had some very, very sick stuff in StarCraft 2. He's not the most consistent player, but when he turns it on, he's got some of the most dramatic, brilliant victories in StarCraft 2's history. Oh, Percival with the dramatic mule dying with minerals in hand. That one... I wish they could find a way to program that out, because then I could justify them nerfing mules, you know? Oh, somebody just dropped some stuff. Hopefully it's all good. Heh. No, it sucks when like you shouldn't get penalized, I think, for that kind of thing. Deleting minerals. We do have a fake cloak starting up. Because no one goes interference matrix, right? Right? I think you wanted to wait that out. Okay, there we go. Gumiho has the sickest builds. It's not just the sickest builds. Like, sometimes he does the most crazy stuff. He does have some pretty sick builds as well. Oh, man, the Reaper Hellion once again getting into the natural. Damn. Percival is... He has leveled up such an insane amount in recent history. Oh, wow, that Raven looks... way too cool for school. Look at that thing. Just gonna watch that for a while. Just kidding. We're not. Thanks, Zoom and StarCraft 2. And now, now the overlay's blocking it. I'm trying to be cinematic. God, Mom. There we go. Percival understands the assignment. He's like, Steadfast wants to see how cool my Raven is. I never realized they have a blue, like, flame trail. That actually looks so cool. That's like a Beyblade level of cool. He didn't get another probe, did he? No. Percival is going for a He actually was pretty late with his combat shields, I feel. Wait, why does he have 2 medevacs already out, but Stim is like more than 30 seconds away? This is a really bizarre little push. But if it does get sieged up, like he's moving out early to basically time out with... Oh, no, there was no vision. Oh, there was no vision on the other side of that, so he ends up losing a Stalker, getting forced to blink back. You want to be kiting this as early as you can as the Protoss. Percival is really just going for it here. Like, he has stepped forward in a big way. Charge is not done. Shameless is actually in a ton of trouble right here. This push from Percival is insanely strong. This is hitting so fast. He just kills the Nexus outright. This is a sick, sick build from Percy, and Shameless just taps. Holy crap. Wow, 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 wow. Skip the engineering bait. Yeah. Here I am being like, oh, the combat shields is late. Hurdy-durdy-dur. But, like, it's more like just everything else was so early. That was an incredible build right there from Percival. And a very, very, very strong, sharp timing. Well, for Terran players, you've got some new source material, perhaps. If you haven't already seen that build. I feel like I maybe haven't. I don't know what the point of the Raven was. It didn't do anything. It did kill the Observer. It did spot the Observer. Killed it. And also might have given Shameless a little bit of false confidence. It also keeps you safe against DTs. There's a lot of benefit. Faking Banshee Cloak is so annoying. It is really bizarre how little it's done, actually, by Terrans. Enabled the cloak fake. Also that. Also that. It can be really easy to forget to be thoughtful about StarCraft 2. All right, we're going to run a couple minutes of ads. People research Interference Matrix a lot and cancel. Not as much as I would expect to see, to be honest. I wouldn't say 3 observers, but usually you want to go for 2. Usually you end up going for 2, yeah. All right, we are going to run 3 minutes of ads real quick. But we will be back with more games, for sure. Just going to sip some coffee in the meanwhile. Welcome once again to the peeps watching on YouTube. Obviously watching on Twitch. One across map, 1 in main and 1 in third. I don't think you need 1 in... Well... Okay, it is very dependent. I think 3 is a lot. I think 3 is a lot. The Raven's job was to distract both Steadfast and Shameless. And it clearly did its job. Because I was super distracted. You know, I was just staring at that thing. Sleek lines. I feel like, yeah, that specific timing looked pretty sick. Creator did 2-0 GgMaChine. I think... Christiana... Okay. Do we want Christiana Percival or look for the winner of YoungYakov Han Mono versus Geralt? We can stick with Percival, I think, for now. Payout is top 4, I believe. Wait, what? Oh, okay. It's OSC points. Is okay. I saw points, and I was like, oh, what points? Thank you, Papito, for the follow. Do-do-do-do-do. Doodly-do-do-do. Bop-bop-bop. Bop-ba-dop. Bop-bop-bop-ba-dop. Bop. Yeah, I think one of the most underrated parts of specifically like heroes play though, Deadly Donkey Kitten, is zealots on the map, pylons for spotting, and I think he's really utilized the power of the zealot very, very well. That is, to me, that is what is the most powerful weapon right now in the Protoss arsenal is the charge lot. Versus Terran specifically. Whether you're pairing that with a prism, whether you're just doing a run by into a third, flanking an army, cutting off reinforcements. I think that's far and away the strongest tool that Protoss has versus Terran. Just because Zealots are so fast and they require so much attention to deal with. And there is something that happens to the opponent when you run a Zealot run by in, or to be frank, any run by, you run it in, poke, they respond, and then you get out. There is a mental frustration that is added every time you do something like that to an opponent. Where like they're trying to like think of it like I don't know, think of it kind of like a fight, right? Like a fight, but you're in the dark, right? And your opponent is you both have like this attack defend thing. I don't know. I'm imagining in my head like it's like a 10 on 10 or something. And one side has these dodging units and the other side and also like attacking units that are trying to grab these ghosts, right? And like every time you reach out, you try and grab someone, they're not there. You know they were there. You know for a fact, but you reach out, you grab, and you just grab air. Empty air. You keep doing that over and over again. And it starts creating this frustration. And it builds and builds and builds and builds. And then the mistakes start to add up. I feel like that's something that Hero, in particular, is extremely good at doing. Once again, big thank you to the Platinum Heroes for putting on this here tournament. If you reached or are over 3K on a legal act before, you are excluded from this tournament series. Oh, I didn't actually know that. That's like oh, that's actually more people than I would have thought. Oh, it's top 15 in the world. Okay. All right, Percival. Doesn't Clem do that in TVZ? That's exactly what he does. That is exactly what it is. And that actually happens, I feel like, to a lot of players in TVZ specifically. I mean, hey, that happens to me, and I get so frustrated by that kind of thing. All right, here we go. Spawning up in the top right for Onside Gaming, it is Christianer. In the blue. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left, it is Kirktown's Percival. In the red. You kind of favor Christianer here? Yeah, I would agree with that a little bit. I think it's close, but I think I would also favor Christianer ever so slightly. Okay, now my memory is... Man, this is weird. I need to get some new components for my PC. I don't know what is going on, but they're not functioning 100% anymore, which makes sense. This is not a new PC. This is not a new PC. What do I have right now? I have a... So I honestly think my GPU is fine. My CPU is actually relatively new, yeah. I think it's a 5700X 3D. I wanted to get the 5800X 3D, but they discontinued it before I could get it. Or, well, I guess before I decided to get it. And the 5700X was still really good. 5700X 3D, to be specific. And then I have a GTX 2060 Super. But I think it's my RAM right now that is the issue more than anything. Yeah, it's a really good CPU. Right now, the Wave, like... yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. Oh, this is an interesting little... setup. This doesn't wall the Reaper, though. Or does it? Nice little start right here for Percival. Picks off a probe and gets out. That's a Reaper is another great example of a unit that can just create endless frustration for your opponent. Got 36 gigabytes of RAM, 3200 megahertz because its 16 wasn't enough and it died. Yeah, I actually need to crack mine open and see even what... I have multiple RAM sticks like sitting on the side. I gotta do some work on that, to be honest. But they're old, and the reason some of them are on the side is because they're compromised. We're going to be seeing a blink opener. Not a big surprise. I want to see Percival try and jump up here. It's entirely possible he just won't be able to. Good job having the Stalker escort the probe. I feel like that's something that a lot of Protoss players forget to do. And it can create openings for the Terran. Here, though, does not get forgotten. We are going to see the Raven getting started up.
You must construct additional
Percival is, or pardon me, Christianer is not a scouter with the hallucination. Oh, wow. He actually does find the probe. Good job from Percy. Checking the corner. I'm going to guess that's a tendency from Christianer that Percival has picked up on. Everything is expensive nowadays? Yeah. RAM in particular is just ridiculously expensive. By the way, this pylon. We really need to get a tasteless pylon here. Christianer is anticipating a potential mine drop into the main. He did go get a very quick blink. 443 is a very fast timing to finish blink. No shield batteries from Christianer. Oh, he is going to move across the map. There is an auto turret in the main. That's going to grab at least one probe, two probes. Oh, good job pulling that extra probe off gas. Does he put it back onto work too early? Almost, but not quite. If it had taken all three shots, it would have gotten blasted a little bit here. Percival does have a good sim city in the main, but only two tanks. Yeah, there's one in the natural as well. Oh, SCV on follow. We are going to see combat shields getting denied. It's going to be an attempt to cut off the retreat. Recall will come through. Does he get at least one stalker? No, he doesn't. Didn't target the correct stalker. Almost got one from full HP, but it does end up surviving. Meanwhile, Raven on the other side, oh, barely surviving. I feel like that is the kind of thing that you want to be doing as a Protoss player right there. Oh, big SCV pull coming in here. And it is up to Christianer to whittle this down. No combat shields is going to make it very difficult to make this push work. But there is a 15 army supply lead. Oh, if he'd been super, super fast on the response, wow, that would have been really hard. He's playing with ping. But if he could have somehow gotten an anti-armor missile up there, that would have been really good. Here comes the attack into the natural. A lot of these stalkers are low. And tanks will siege up. We are going to see the robotics facility getting depowered. There's no defenses here in this natural. Christianer will try and cut off reinforcements, and he will be able to do so. He is currently not mining from his natural. And the Nexus is going to fall, but here come the Zealots from the back. SCV is going to try and body block tank. Will that be enough? Immortal and Stalkers take down the first siege tank. Second one will get taken out as well. And it will be Christianer driving this back. He targets down an empty medevac. Still better than nothing. With the death of the natural, even though there's a lot of probes here for Christianer, Percival is actually still in a playable position. He does need to start his combat shields, like, ASAP, though. And, there he goes. As soon as he had 100 gas. Going to resaturate these gases in the natural. They were on 1 of 3. Yeah, Mule's obviously going to make a big difference. You like it for Protoss still? Same. Because once this Nexus gets back up and running, becomes a big problem. Killing the Robo facility is good, but it does feel... Wow, there is no +1 weapons, and that's kind of a big deal when trying to fight against Zealots. Is he just going to go Archons? Yeah, we're just going straight Archons. Templar Archives was made. I wanted to talk about that. It's another SCV pull. Concussive is going to complete in a moment. Oh, Percival anticipating the counterattack. Or cutting off of reinforcements. We'll get a couple of units. Ooh, Stalker's going to be able to intercept and kill one of these Liberators. Can he get the second one? Yes, he does. And it only costs him 1 Stalker. That's a very nice little pick-off. Percival knows he has to go. Guardian Shield going to get popped on the right side. Zealots will try and get in here. There's no combat shields just yet. The Archons are absolutely hitting dead center mass on that army. And Christianer gets himself a pretty dream engagement. This was always going to be tough for Percival. But that could not have gone much better for Christianer there than it did. More SCVs being pulled. Third SCV pull of the game, but this one is not going to be particularly close, I don't think. Christianer's just going to disengage because he doesn't need to fight yet. He can buy more time. This time it is Percival mining with pretty much nothing. He's going to have... Well, once the mules kick in, he'll have a little bit. Oh. Actually, kind of a big mistake bringing the sentry across the map. That's Guardian Shield. He really doesn't need that on the other side. The Liberators do siege up. Is there a chance that this can actually work? I really don't think so. Like, there's just so many Zealots. But I will say the lack of Guardian Shield actually is kind of meaningful. Recall comes through. Recalls all the Zealots. Liberators get a good siege. But no, there's not enough stuff. Not even close. Medevacs have no juice. And we are going to see Percival. I was going to say he's lifting up into the main. But, yeah, no. No chance, no shot. GG. Christianer gets game 1. I feel like, yeah, what you do, RAM shortages, then hard drive shortages, and soon CPU shortages. Yeah, probably. Everything is expensive because people want to generate videos of cats playing violins. Honestly, if it was just cats playing violins, I'd be like, yeah, it's goofy, but... like, whatever. But yeah, if you're seeing that, looking at that game, the way Cristiano uses his zealots is it is really strong. It is really strong. It is really effective, and I feel like that's the best. That's like what Terran players have nightmares about, you know? And that wasn't even with Prism in the main. All right, here we go. Spawning down on the bottom right for onside gaming. It is Cristiano in the blue. And his opponent spawning up at the top left for Kirktown. It is Percival in the red. Yeah, I feel like the first push that was it was pretty scary, but it got blasted pretty hard. The second one I actually think might have been the scariest. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. I love this. The proxied second barracks. This is one of my favorites. Now, will Cristiano anticipate this? Will he figure it out? I think the scariest Protoss are the ones who can defend SCV pulls without Colossus or Storm. I would tend to agree. Okay, so Percival can go for the one Rax expand. Air quotes, one Rax expand to really sell this. He is not going to build an orbital. That is where you cut the cash to be able to afford this command center. And you want your opponent to see the command center. You want them to see that. He will get the orbital command eventually, but you're cutting money. Isn't the score 1-1? No. No, Percival won the other series. But yeah, this is really good, particularly against how Cristiano has scouted and how he opened in game number 1 of this series. I actually did see a game where I think it was Percival who did this versus Max Packs, and the Marines, as they were crossing the map, you make Marines off no reactor. As they were crossing the map, they got intercepted by Adepts. And that actually kills the build. That actually kills the build. But since it's Stalkers and since Cristiano's keeping them at home and he's not building a shield battery, you are in big trouble. A third barracks is quite interesting to me. Now, Percival, you can see he is behind in workers right now. And he only just got his first mule because the orbital is so delayed. But with 2 Stalkers, this is going to be so scary to deal with. Now, they were well positioned right here. Bunker is going to start up. Probes will be pulled. Obviously, Marine's going to be able to kill a lot of these. Concussive Shell trying to tag the Stalkers. Really good micro so far from Cristiano. And the probes are targeting the Marauders. He gets all the Marauders. Honestly, even with 9 probes going down, this is an immaculate defense so far from Cristiano. He will get tagged by the Marauder, but as the 3rd Stalker pops out, he's able to get the kill on this. Honestly, Cristiano can hold this, and he can cancel both of these batteries. Kind of crazy that he actually went for 2 batteries after This, I don't hate letting the first battery finish, to be honest, because he doesn't know if Percival's going to continue to commit. And he doesn't have a lot of production just yet. But it was all coming online. Is second orbital done? It is now, yeah. Percival gets ahead off of this. And that's why it's actually really important in a situation like this to cancel even the first battery. Like, getting back every bit of money that you can. Okay, yeah, let's say Christianer doesn't build the second battery and cancels the first one. He is now... Because it still costs you 25 minerals plus the opportunity cost of having the battery. That could have... He maybe might have been able to restart probe production a little earlier. But we won't even take that into account when we're considering the math here. We'll just talk about the straight numbers. Yeah, he loses 25 minerals. And then gets an additional 75 back from canceling this one compared to what he did. So he's 100 minerals more in the black here. By the way, very cool little play from Christianer. He actually built an additional gate and then cancels it. Percival may heavily overdefend now. Yeah, he's building a second barracks. We don't have combat shields yet for Percival. Yeah, and he's not going to go for it because he feels he needs tanks. Honestly, I think with this little mind game, this is definitely capable of now putting Christianer ahead. Percival is anticipating a big blink play into the main base, a big 4-gate blink. And it's 3-gate blink, which is still a lot of potential, but there's no prism. There's no massive commitment with this. There is an observer here. Percival does not even have his starport done yet. Meanwhile, Christianer is already getting into a robo bay. I do question the third barracks. Oh, the scan doesn't kill the observer. He could have stimmed for that with 2 Marines and gotten the kill. But he didn't, and that just ends up being super, super painful. That is so tilting. Christianer now getting up to 8 gates. Can start his first Colossus right now. Just got the 300 minerals for it. I do like targeting the Marine. Good pullback there from Percival. Saves the first one. But he's going to lose the Marauder, unfortunately. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that starts to really wear on you in a series. Just the constant pokes. Oh, Christianer, though, did get caught with his blink on cooldown. Does lose a Stalker. I feel like people really underrate that kind of stuff. Like what it can kind of do to your mental. Charge is, of course, done. We do have +1 weapons this time on the way for Percival, but it's not done yet. Ooh, very nice hot pick up there on that Marauder. Zealots, though, immediately getting in on top of this third base as the army moves out. And that's going to be a cancel. If he clicks it, yeah. Good job right there from Christianer. All 4 Zealots do go down, but now the army has been dragged back. Christianer picks off another Marine. Does take a lot of hull damage. Oh, this is a cute little move. But the observer on the right side saw it. And God, this is the last thing you want to see as Percival here. A Colossus functionally does 0 damage. Puts an Immortal's Barrier on cooldown. Does shield damage to a Colossus and a Zealot. And that's it. And once that barrier comes back off cooldown, which it will in about 5 to 8 seconds, it's yeah, it's gonna be as if nothing happened, except 7 Marines just died. Ooh, single drop into the natural. Good quick pull, but at the main fight, tanks getting caught unsieged. It's a very good flank on top of the army. It'll be a kill on the base, but Christianer can certainly blink forward and try and hunt these medevacs. He's going to do exactly that. Gets 1. Christianer doing some very nice moves and is now, I mean, do we say the game is over? It might not be, but it feels kind of over. Funnily enough, Percival's actually ahead in workers. Oh, that blink. Getting the medevac. Fortunately for Percival, it's just the one. Christianer, okay. Well, these drops are actually quite a nuisance. But I feel like Christianer's army at the front is just going to be kind of unstoppable. He's got extended thermal lance. He's got 2 Colossus. There's only 2 Vikings on the field. And there's 3 Immortals. Oh, there's another Colossus. Oh my god, the miss rally, though. That's okay. That's not okay, actually. But Percival right now is micring on the other side. Christianer accidentally attacking one of his own probes. The miss rally on that Colossus was a huge mistake, but I actually don't know if it's going to be enough. It certainly matters, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Vikings, oh, barely not killing that one Colossus. Finally gets the kill on it. Marine drop on the other side of the map, finally cleaned up. If that third Colossus didn't rally in like a derp to its death, this game is already over. I will say that with a really confident degree of certainty. Really strong degree of certainty. As it is, Vikings are going to take down the Colossus. There's 2 Immortals here, though. And they're actually going to do so well against the Marauder landed Viking. The Mirror Line harassing Colossus. Imagine casting SC2 and not knowing about that. God. What a fool. What a fool. No GG? Yeah, he didn't GG in game 1. Definitely frustrated. For sure, for sure. But yeah, you can see what Christianer is doing. Like, he's getting under his opponent's skin. And that won't work against every player. There are a lot of players that are very composed. But it is difficult to keep your composure when your opponent is doing what Christianer did. The 2 Stalkers pulling back at the front at the very beginning of the game made such a massive difference. Because if even one of those Stalkers gets caught and he loses it at the start, instead of Percival doing a ton of damage, he maybe just wins the game outright. Or if instead of like 9 probes and I think, what, 1, maybe 2 Stalkers, he gets like 15 probes, a pylon, all the Stalkers. Bunker sets up at the natural. Like, it's a much, much, much worse position for Christianer. It is going to be White Rabbit. Christianer now up 2-0 on the verge of punching his ticket into the grand finals. Spawning down to the bottom left for onside gaming. It is Christianer in the blue, and he is doing very good work here. Spawning up at the top right, it is Kirktown's Percival in the red. Yeah, this was tough. This is tough to go up against. Faux show. Christianer is a tough nut to crack. There's no doubt about it. Need battery if there's no Reaper. Against the 1-Rax expand? But they can just go Marine Reactor. I think if you see no second reactor, surely... Oh god, the SCV taking a lot of damage here. Almost goes down. Cristiano once again going to open up Gate Nexus. Nice job getting a couple of zaps on the early units. Bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum ba da dum. Yeah, if it's this opener, I feel like you really don't want a battery, you know? Meanwhile, Percival is going to go for a bunker at the natural. I mean, Cristiano has opened up Stalker first 3 games, but not going to see... based on what Cristiano's done, at least in this series, we're not going to see any aggressive push out. Percival could have attempted to mind game this and just said, well, you haven't really been aggressive with any of your units early on, and just skipped the bunker. But, I mean, that would have been a bit of a problem for him. See, Cristiano is keeping his Stalkers very safe on the high ground. Not really something you can do on Winter Madness because the ramp is relatively quite far. But on this map, I mean, it's so close to your front. Like, he can still, with Stalkers, hit units from here that are on the low ground at like, the front entrance to the natural. Okay, it looks like this time we are actually going to see a 4-gate blink. So he bluffed it in game number 2, and now is actually going to go for it in game 3. We are going to see Percival opening up with a 3-mine drop. He hasn't opened up mine drop yet in this series. And now he's going to go for a, well, pretty heavily... Wait, hang on. We've seen this once in a while, but it's a very rare thing to see. Looks like he wants to go for a... possibly, like, dropping mines on top of the units? No, okay. Maybe not. Cristiano does have his Stalkers just in the middle of the bases. He won't have Blink done. Not yet. Mines will manage to unburrow. Marines in the natural are going to find a lack of a battery. And this is where, you know, cutting a battery like this is a bit of a problem. We've got shift clicks on the probes. He's going to be able to find 5 probes so far. 2 of the Widow Mines have not yet fired. Oh, they're unburrowed. Oh. Well, he'll get 2 more probes. Percival's going to come out of this with a worker lead. I think Cristiano might have actually... Oh, it actually only got 1 more worker. That's kind of wild. I feel like Cristiano might have missed this. I think he might have missed the last mine. So Percival obviously gets a nice eco lead out of this, but the 4-gate blink is going to be scary to deal with. He has scouted. He knows that this is 4-gate blink. This is not a scenario where one of these gates can be canceled. They're done. SCV is going to pull here. Pulling the mule is obviously not ideal. Doesn't gain any benefit from bonus repair. And it does just cost you a lot of the eco. Cristiano did spot one of the tanks. He doesn't realize there's another one behind us. Oh, he's choosing to continue to commit. Going to be supply blocked here. Oh, SCV is not able to repair. 1 tank does go down. The 3rd tank that pops out, as well as the bunker. That's a lot of losses, though, for Cristiano. And Percival is definitely in a good position in this game. He's kind of going the middle approach, by the way, which is to say continue to build tanks, but also getting the stim upgrade, just not getting stim and combat shields. Oh, repair on the tank is not in time. He's actually going to take the loss on the tank. Only killing one of the Stalkers, almost gets the kill on the Warp Prism. Two of the Stalkers getting very, very heavily wounded as well. As the Prism recalls out, Christianer is still so far behind. This is an incredibly good position for Percivale. Nice double siege right there. Doesn't get a kill on a Stalker, but puts a lot of damage into one of them. Siege tank shot. Oh, no, the Raven. Oh. Right through the middle. Ends up flying right over the Stalkers as they just kind of try and rotate to look for the army. Christianer, ooh, he's going to be able to find at least one Marauder. And now going to blink into the natural. This is going to drag Percival all the way back. There's no recall, though, is there? A depot lift could have been good there, but it's going to be a blink forward. Now we're going to see Medivacs getting put into harm's way. Initially targeted one, and now the units are out of here. We do see an interception coming through. Very nice job right there from Percival. I was wondering why the units had kind of stopped moving. Warp Prism on the other side. Gonna drop Zealots into the natural. Even now, Christianer is just needling Percival. Really making his life unpleasant. And Christianer has finally taken a worker lead. Storm is on the way. Percival does have a third CC done. Orbital just now starting to morph. Percival is winning this game still, but this is the kind of game where it feels like the frustration can really, really take a toll. Christianer, if he gets up to Storm, there is absolutely still a chance. Scan sees two Archons. Won't see the Templar themselves, though. There are going to be two Storms available in a moment, and Percival's deciding to back away. And now the game actually evens out. Percival also got supply blocked at 125. He's got 4 depots finishing up. Well, 1 depot finishing up, 3 more in production. Christianer might feel like he wants to get something done before ghosts can come out and make the Templar tech less valuable. Oh, Percival going to get caught with a lot of his army in the middle. Does manage to stim away. Scan comes in. There are 2 High Templar. 1 Storm getting dropped here. Tanks getting caught on siege. 1 will go down. Second one going to fall very quickly. 12 SCVs going down on the left side as well. Oh, is there a Storm available? Yes, there is. He can morph the Templar into this Archon. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we've got a single Marine drop. That is going to get mostly cleaned up. Archons were able to deal with this. Now this is go time for Percival, I feel like. But energy recharge is available for Christianer. He should be warping in a Templar and popping that as soon as possible. Like, just warp in 3 Templar. He's got the gas for it. He did lose a lot of mining time here, and he's got to resaturate these gases properly. There we go. There's the 3 Templar warped in now. Energy recharge was used. Looks like Christianer... Is he going to try and base trade this? Oh my god, if he finds the ghost, he will! What? That is ludicrous right there. A lot of probes will fall. Percival will come out of this now with a gigantic income lead, but he needs to get this army to safety. Oh, loses 1 full medevac. Oh my god. They are so out of juice. He's going to lose another one, and another one is going to get taken out. It does get a full unload, but this entire army is going to disappear. Storming his own probes and Stalker warping is not ideal. But everything else about this was. Christianer is now 25 workers behind, but 21 SCV or 21 army supply ahead for the moment. Percival needs to hold. He cannot be rallying out to try and fight this. He's got a couple of bunkers coming in. Widow mines at the top of ramps are going to be very good here. Cristiano has to win the game with this. Archon will get blasted by a Widow mine. Templar are going to land a storm. Oh, this could still work for Cristiano, but Percival has 1-1. Snipe gets the one high Templar that was high on energy. That's a huge snipe. Percival just needs to clean this up, and I think he is going to be able to do so comfortably at this point now that the high Templar has been taken out. GG will get called, and finally Percival puts one on the board. Things got very, very messy there. I'm kind of curious as to why Cristiano moved out and sacked his third base. I feel like if he energy recharges the High Templar, like, I think he's got a chance there to hold the third. Maybe he felt like the ghosts... I'm not sure how he saw the ghosts crossing the map, or if he was, like, looking for them specifically. I feel like he must have seen them with an observer. Talk about the skin of your teeth. Yeah, loading up into the medevacs was... That was a very scary moment. Welcome, Fleisch. Leave Hell Brood War. Man, that was yeah, that was a game to forget, I think. Potentially, honestly, for both players, kind of. That's one of those just put it out of your mind kind of games. All right, we got to run a minute and a half of ads, otherwise we're going to get them during the game, so I do apologize. But I'd rather it be when nothing's really happening. YoungYakov did take down Hanmano 2-1, but Hanmano getting a dub there is quite nice. Now it's going to be Geralt, YoungYakov on the other side. PvP finals. It's funny because we could both have a full PvP finals and 3 out of 4 players in the top 4 as Protoss, or we could potentially have no Protoss in the finals. That is still possible. Now, looking at things, it does feel like PvP finals is the highest likelihood with Creator, but not a guarantee. All right, here we go. Spawning up the top left. It is Onside Gaming's Cristiano in the blue. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom right for Kirktown. It is Percival in the red. That was obviously a very scrappy game. There are games that feel like ones where they've changed the momentum of a series. I don't yet think that was that game. Mostly with Percival loading up the medevacs into the natural. I think if he loads up all the medevacs, 2 of them go into the natural, 2 of them run to the right side. Now, you don't even need to go into the natural. You can just camp the 2 medevacs between the third and the natural and just represent the threat. Feels like a lifetime since I've been here. I hope you're doing well. Pretty sure I've seen you within the last, like, definitely within the last 2 weeks, but maybe I had a really busy 2 weeks. Sometimes I'm like, man, I can't believe it's been this long since we've seen each other. And then it's been like, yeah, it's been like 3 weeks. It's like, wow. Well, a lot of things happened in those 3 weeks. Or maybe it's been longer than I thought. That's also possible. Either way, it's good to see you here. It is worth noting, by the way, Cristiano lost a ton of probes early, and the counterattack with the Blink Stalkers was not amazingly successful. Cristiano has now opened up Stalkers double Stalker into Twilight. 4 games in a row. Oh, but is he actually going to get aggressive this time? We are going to see a cheeky play out of Percival. Ah, damn. Sorry to hear that. Hope you're feeling better. It is no fun. No fun at all. Proxy Starport Hellion drop is so good, and if Christianer didn't move out with these Stalkers, this would... Well, I mean, it still could be a little bit uncomfortable. Christianer, does he recognize... Oh, Percival could have gotten the SCV into the bunker there. Unfortunately, he did not. SCV is going to come back home. I wonder if Christianer has any concept of what this is. He didn't poke far enough to see the Hellions, so I don't think so. And he skipped batteries pretty much every game. Yeah, this feels like this is going to do gangbusters right now. Oh, this is so good for Percival because Christianer wasn't aggressive enough. And now the Hellions will unload. Stalkers are wildly out of position. This is going to be so many dead probes. Ooh, very nice probe pull to kind of body block the Hellions here. Keep this from getting max damage initially. Really good, like, probe spread, I would say. About the best you could hope for in the situation. But 13 workers going down. And no counter threat just yet. Extremely good for Percival. And now that feels like the kind of thing that shifts the momentum of the series. Game 3 plus this in Game 4. Oh, where's this SCV going? Oh, he's just looking for the third. Okay. I assume? If we get out with a medevac, that would be amazing. But kind of just boosted down. I feel like you just want to save this medevac more than anything. Especially since the starport has to spend so much time flying back home. Percival does start up his stim already. Obviously going to be producing tanks because of the potential of a counterattack. Oh, if he gets another probe, that would be nice. He does. And please, just run it away. Fly it away, please, please, please. Somebody notice that medevac, please. The pylon sees it, by the way. It's going to get ignored. Okay. Bunker got canceled. Did Percival see the third base? Yes, he did. Stim is not yet done. Tanks are spread trying to cover multiple positions. There's a lot of potential with this Blink Stalker counter push. But he sees the position of the tank, sees the 2 Marauders, and decides that that's not where he wants to go with this. He needs to get damage done. There's no other way around it. Medevac finally getting sent to the side. Got gateways coming online for Christianer. He has retaken the worker lead, but he is, I would say, not ahead in economy. Not really. He's equalized at best. There's the medevac getting repaired. Love it. Love, love, love it. I mean, it just gets so much energy. Oh, and now he's even going to move out with a little marine drop. He could look to push these units to the side. Oh, getting the kill on that Stalker. A little bit of a misblink right there from Christianer. It is worth noting that this is on West server, so Blink Micro going to be a little bit more difficult. He does snipe down a Marauder, but he loses another Stalker. Christianer does have charge completing in a moment. Going to be looking to intercept reinforcements once more. Oh, man. If he could get these 2 pylons and depower these gates, I feel like you probably just go for probes, though. Force field, that is obviously not a great force field. Sentry does go down. Robo-Silly did have the backup pylon. Widow Mines are pretty decent here. Siege tanks will get taken out. Percival will need to just run away with this main army. Not the cleanest pickup, Micro, but he is going to be able to get into the main base, kill 7 probes. Stalker's blinking on top of this. Percival going to re-stim these Marines. I think a probe pull would have been a good choice, but it's a little bit late, and he ends up losing 3 of the 4 Stalkers. This did depower 3 gates, by the way, not all 5. Percival, though, that was a good trade. And will put him ahead in workers once again, and he's about to have the 3rd CC done. Good macro behind this from Percival. Christianer supply blocked into oblivion. Stalkers. Oh, I was like, what did they just shoot at? They shot at the high HP medevac, I think. Oh, looks like a little oopsie stack up maybe on the probes. Robo facility will get taken down. Widowmine sieging up in the natural. They're going to get a good couple of shots off. Cancel on the Robo Bay. Percival does get forced away. Oh, it was maybe a high ground setup with the Marine. Marines even. This medevac from earlier is going to escape once again. This is what I was looking for in game number 3. And Percival has made the adjustment. Tech's been fully reset, but... Well, maybe not fully reset. He's got a Twilight Council. He's got a Cybercore. But the Robo Facility tech has been fully reset. Percival is going to try and fly back home. I wouldn't have minded going for a counterattack. Very aggressive blink in. Widowmines get some big shots. There's a lot of Widowmines to go around here. They're going to friendly fire a little bit, but Percival has what he needs to defend even without the other army, I think. But once it comes home, he will have what he needs to crush this. Oh, Widowmines do on Burrow. But it is the flanking army that will make all the difference here. Immortals in trouble. Percival is going to be able to clean this up and force a game number 5. Christianer. There we go. I was going to say, surely he taps out here. He's down like he has no forges. Robo just finished being rebuilt. It's 1-1 with 2-2 already on the way. Very well done from Percival, and he is battling back in this one. MVP medevac? Yeah. Yeah. It actually was really, really beneficial. All right, we got to run another minute of ads. We didn't run enough. What's the next tourney Cyril is playing in? That's a great question. I don't really know. Geralt and YoungYakov still battling it out. By the way. Looks like... Looks like they might have just started game 3, if I had to guess. If that's game 2, I would be very, very surprised. That would mean that their first game went really, really long. It's going to be Mothership here for game number 5. And we've got something potentially very cheeky here. Spawning down in the bottom middle. It is Onside Gaming's Christianer. And he has sent out a very early probe into the middle. And his opponent spawning up the top right. It is Kirktown's Percival in the red. Oh, man. This is a hero play if ever there was one. That is kind of baller, I gotta say. Going for a proxy on game 5. That is absolutely baller. And he is going to guess correctly on where his opponent is. Double gas opener for the first time this series out of Percy. Does he get the depot wall? Oh, he will be able to do so. And this already cannot feel good for Christianer. Now, even with a double gas, you are not guaranteed to be able to defend against this. This is going to start out with Zealots most likely, but you can just go straight Cybercore. Needed to wait for the pylon because you don't want to proxy the cyber core as well. Do you normally go... What do you go for normally here? I feel like you normally have more chrono energy. No, he's going to have double chrono in time for the these units. He is... Okay, I was going to say, building the third zealot feels weird. Oh, Reaper is actually checking the middle. Oh, my God. Percival going to get the Turbo Scout here. Bunker will start up. I mean, when you're on the Korean server, you play against Hero enough to know that something like this is a possibility. Oh, it's going to be a one-base play out of Percy. He doesn't yet know where his opponent is, so he's actually going to be checking the wrong location. But you don't even know if a Nexus is on the way 100%, so you do have to check the main. Bunker will complete. There are no units on the field just yet, so SCVs are going to take some hits. One SCV getting into the bunker. It was fake initially. Depot Top Hat will get called down. Will repair up this depot for not free. It costs him a mule, but technically free in terms of actual cost. And it's less lost mining time. Recall going to get forced out. Already getting one probe. Very good on the counter. And Christianer... Oh my God, he does get the last shot. Wow, I really didn't think that was going to get hit. Wow. Okay. Can Christianer defend a one-base push? Percival, of course, knows where his opponent's production is. There's no additional gateways yet. He's building a Twilight Council. I don't think you can get away with that. I'm actually really interested how this skirmish is going to go. With 2 Stalkers and 2 Zealots, it's very one-sided. With 4 Stalkers and 2 Zealots, kind of a different story. Okay, Percival is going to instead go for a counter drop here. Oh, okay. He knew how scary this game was. If Christianer knew that it was just the tank... Yeah, Zealots getting to the top and 4 Stalkers hitting from the low ground. There is a very good reason why he pulled so many SCVs there. Recall was used, by the way, so he cannot recall just yet. Just now, a gateway finishing up at home. Oh, he actually cancels a gateway to be able to warp in more units. Stalker not able to get back in range of the shield battery. He will lose that. Could target the warping in. Zealot is going to do exactly that. Nice hot pickup on the Marine. Stalkers are running back home. Oh, sick hot pickup right here. Probes pulled into the fight. Oh, he didn't hit stop on the unload, so that means he loses 3 or 4 extra Marines. Still, he gets 6 probes. His own command center is done. Not yet morphed into an orbital, but it is landing. Cloak Banshee. There's no robo. Oh, man, this game is so sick. If you told me after game number 2 that Percival would be in a position like this 3 games later, I would not have believed you. No chance, no shot. Does he stick around and kill the gates? I think that feels risky. Ooh, siege tanks. They got to attack. They will turn around and start fighting. Not entirely sure why Percival was pushing out here. Maybe trying to distract for his Banshees.
Your probes are under attack.
First Banshee is here. Cloak is done, and the Robo just started. And this shield battery is out of energy. Energy recharge was already used, and Christianer is going to tap out. Percival reverse sweeps it. Wow-wah-wee-wah. Massive turnaround there. Huge dub. Oh, man. That is actually such a sick turnaround from Percival. Such a sick comeback. Okay, Geralt actually, that was game 2 of their series. Game 1 between Geralt and YoungYakov must have been really, really long. So it is going to be Creator versus Geralt in the second semifinal. Kind of worked out perfectly in terms of timing. I'm really glad we got a chance to cast that series because that was a banger. That was a banger. Definitely not. I mean, that was a great example of, yeah, like a proper best of 5, you know, like a story in a series. It's funny that going back to game 3, I was thinking about, like, and I said it, you know, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I think that was not the kind of game that turns the momentum. But here we are. Sometimes all it takes, just a little bit of success. I mean, that's what we saw from. I'm not going to compare it. I'm not going to say it's the same, anyways. But the series between Raynor and Oliveira. Was that the semifinals or that was the quarterfinals of that faded IEM. By the way, Geralt did ask for 3 minutes, so I am going to run 3 minutes of ads. That'll allow us to get much further ahead on the pre-rolls, mid-rolls. And I'm going to stretch my legs, run to the washroom. Recommend you grab some snacks, do the same if you need, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Percival gets to, on my way to 7-Eleven Bangkok to get some snackums. Hell yeah. Get them snackarinos. Snackaroos. All right, hopefully we get some good stuff. Oh, Trigger's playing some Terran. Nice. I really love that he's got his like his cursor is like a pink circle. I think it's super, super interesting. All right. We should be getting back. Oh, well, I would assume Geralt will be getting back shortly. Let's get our brain teasers for the day set up so we can do those afterwards. Strands. Oh, yeah. Pips, though, first. Pips. Strands, connections. We love doing our little brain teasers for the day. What else? Reunion. Extreme. Fibble. Where's Skatu, by the way? Wonder if he's seen us play any Reunion. It's been a lot of fun. It's pretty neat. It's very easy for me to look through the viewer list and see peeps that are here and have been hanging out, lurking. And to all you lurkers, howdy. Don't you worry, we're not going to out you just yet. Not this moment. But if you do have a free Twitch Prime, would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Speaking of which, I has Burrito for the Tier 1 resub at 53 months. Unbroken 53 months. Where you been? Feel like we're seeing less and less of you? The last couple weeks, I definitely took my foot off the gas a little bit. Not completely, not completely. I'm kind of figuring stuff out for myself a little bit. I've still definitely streamed a bit, but not as much as I had prior. I'm trying to figure out a good life balance, if that makes sense. Trying to do what's best for me, my mental health, all that jazz. Oh, cool. Okay, Geralt is back. Yeah. Trying to make sure that yeah, I do what's best for me. And yeah, take care of myself. All right, PvP. Here we go, spawning up at the top right. It is Creator. In the red. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left. It is Streamer Zone's Geralt. In the blue. Geralt Dutta. Damn. 25 consecutive streams from Glavius. Thank you very, very much, my man. My guy, my dude. We got some mineral boosting going on. Good evening. Good evening to you as well. One of the most frustrating things about mineral boosting is if you do what Creator did right there and mess it up, you kind of like, you can erase like, I don't know, 6 or 8 perfect ones. Love SC2, but your mental health is so much more important. It is true. Mental health is, it's a priority. It's a priority. It's not just that, though. It's like I'm trying to... figure out, yeah, what's best for me and what I can do that will make me feel the most at peace with myself. Yeah, that's entirely possible, I has burrito. I mean, the previous month, like February, I streamed a ton. I streamed a ton in February. But I feel like I also maybe not burned myself out, but a little bit, and I think that's part of it. That's part of, you know, finding the right balance. Stalker Sentry from both players, by the way. Geralt is a player who tends to continue to build probes for a while, even if it ends up being one base versus one base. He will build a lot of probes. Taking a small break. Not even really taking a small break per se, as much as knowing when I need to take small breaks. If that makes sense. Like, it's very easy for me to get on a roll and be like, okay, I'm going to stream, you know. I shouldn't actually say it's very easy, but it's very easy for me when I get on a roll to be like, I'm going to stream a lot. And what that can mean or will mean sometimes is I stream, you know, let's say I stream 5 days in a row. I'm like, cool, awesome. Now I'm like, I'm just going to keep going. That has been something that's, yeah, I've definitely been thinking about a lot, Smigs TV. I've done it before, but it does take a toll. It's doable, but it does take a toll. This is pretty interesting right here out of Geralt, by the way. This feels like a proxy Dark Shrine, perhaps. The Zest Dark Shrine, maybe? Oh, wow, what? Oh, that's pretty sick. Not a tire shop exactly, but we did change tires, yeah. It was an oil change shop, but we did tire swaps. Oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. Insane that this gets scouted almost instantly. Some kind of fake job given by a rich buddy. I mean, you can definitely do a part-time job. Geralt is going to take a third Nexus. I was going to say, I think you have to cancel the Stargate at this point. Honestly, if anything, it's a good thing that it was scouted before the Stargate completes. Because otherwise, you're going to be in this weird scenario where you've invested 150 minerals, 150 gas. You know that your opponent has seen it, so if they send something over to go for that. Now, to be fair, Creator has not rechecked to make sure that this has been canceled, and honestly, this might be better, potentially, for Geralt that it got scouted. Because now it's this weird scenario of, like, Creator's not 100% sure. He does have 2 Stalkers in the main, and he's not overreacting. And he is going to confirm that this has been canceled, so this is going to be fine for Creator. But Geralt has used this to get a slightly faster forge. Kudos to Creator, though, for not slipping up in the macro aspect and saying, yeah, I want my own upgrade, too. That's also part of it, Smigs, is I do feel like when I was working a full-time job, streaming was more enjoyable because it was more of a, not a niche thing, but it was a smaller aspect. I think also part of it too is that I've looked at my, you know, subscriber numbers have gone down quite a bit. Viewership numbers have gone down a decent bit, but not a crazy amount. It's more so the subscriber count is much, much lower. And I think I've taken that personally, but like a lot of it is that a lot of my subscribers come from the United States, and it's tough there right now. Like people are struggling. It is tough to get by, and I've made it very clear, and I will hold to this, that I never want someone to jeopardize their standing. For a second, I thought we were going to have to commentate the game, but no worries. They just disengaged. I can continue to yap. As they both get the Templar Archives. They both get charge +1. Fourth base is at pretty much the same moment. This Double Adept still hasn't found anything yet. Does he shade forward this time? He will. But only going to get 2 probes. Good reaction time. Good defense from Creator. Oh, he gets a 3rd probe. Nice job from Geralt. Really well done. Good micro. What were we saying? Yeah, and I'll hold to this, that I don't want anyone to put themselves into financial strain or duress, you know, supporting streamer, man. That's not what I want at all. You can be a part-time content creator, but if you have the skills to balance full-time Monday to Friday job with a 5-day-a-week stream, you have the skills to get a much better job. Yeah, I mean, part of why I'm doing this though is that I want to, right? Like this is what I want to do, and I feel like I don't necessarily fit the box of. By the way, good job from Geralt. Somehow keeps his observer alive. Not even sure really how he did. Fit the box of, you know, normal stuff, so to speak. SC2 has definitely lost some of his steam, for sure. Passion is important. Yeah, exactly. Finally, this is going to get cleaned up here. Thank you, 2EGJK. For the tier 1 sub at 5 months. I sold my kidney to be able to afford the subscription to Steadfast. Worth it? Perfect. That's exactly what we want. As long as he didn't sell both kidneys. As long as you still have one. If you do what you love, it's okay to make less money. Yeah, I think that's important. I think it's important to do what you want to be doing. Both players have, like, really settled in for the macro game here. Creator is powering pretty hard on army. He's actually managed to take a small army supply advantage as a result. Geralt has a bit more eco. Also, a couple pylons getting picked off is obviously nice. Will we see this go into disruptors? That is the dream. Blinkstalker disruptor. Oh, there's the Robo Bay. Okay. Both players going to complete +2 weapons within not even a second of one another. Less than a second difference, but it's Creator who is immediately into the +3. Very important to start that up. As Geralt, he does start it up, but it's, yeah, 15 seconds behind now. A chrono and a half, if I may. Warp Prism on the top side. Meanwhile, Observer does spot the army, but it will get taken out. Geralt going to warp in units to max out here. Good positioning on this army of Creator. Against not a massive scramble, but a bit of a scramble from Geralt. He kind of lets his units take some hits. Oh, Creator looking to outposition Geralt here. But there's a good SimCity. Really good SimCity. Honestly, this gateway is so good against Zealots. Hey, thank you, Has Burrito, for the 5 gifted subbies. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, Prism will get taken down there. Just keep on my... Oh, my God. Gave up my weekend meals for this. Meals, plural. Oh, nice. Perfect. Haha. Thank you very much, genuinely. Zealot's going to try and run by into the natural. Geralt is really just hunkering down on 2 bases here. Or 2 bases, 4 bases. Obviously not 2 bases. God, the Zealot getting chased super, super hard. It actually does survive. That's kind of sick. Meanwhile, the Prism of Geralt, I think, it got taken out. That is a little bit awkward. Ooh, Creator gets a really good spot. A really good position. Psych. It's a trap and a big disruptor shot, finding 10 Zealots there to start things off. Creator, though, still feeling like he can get something done, perhaps. Double Stargate behind this. Will it be Carriers? Will it be Tempests? Could it be Phoenix? Phoenix would be insane with the number of Archons that are already on the field. Oh, a little bit of hold position. Creator, one of the best in the business at hold position setups. Uses it more than anyone, I feel. We have some kiting back coming in, but it's Geralt with just a small number of disruptors trying to chase this. However, with only one there, Creator's able to blink forward, snipe it, and get on out. Nice little move. Not only killing Zealots, 10 Zealots, but 10 hostile Zealots. Nice. I like that one of the subs went to Thanos was good guy. I just think that's fun. Oh, it is going to be Phoenix for now. Meanwhile, we've got armor versus shields. Shields, obviously, the better upgrade in PvP specifically, especially when you have so many Archons. But armor is obviously good for the Zealots. I mean, I do just think shields is just vastly superior, though. Surely we're not going to commit hard into the Phoenix, right? I mean, I say that, but he's already got 6. Well, 4 on the field, 2 more about to complete. Okay, going to be a Mama ship, +1 air. I'm really surprised, honestly, by the 6 Phoenixes. I mean, you can just lift the disruptors in the fight, but that's not easy. Like, you need to see them all. Even if the disruptor, even if all the Phoenixes die, it can actually still be worth it to just sack the Phoenixes. It's just that you basically need to make sure you lift everything. We do have a second Stargate on the way. Oh, wait, no. No, yeah, it is the second Stargate for Geralt. No Fleet Beacon, though. Kind of surprising. He actually starts +1 air armor. Huh? It's been a very passive game here, relatively speaking. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say passive, since Creator has tried to make moves, but Geralt is just not allowed Creator to do so. Finally, it is going to be Carriers coming in for Creator. Mothership doing its little... I figured Geralt was going to be going into a Mothership himself. Creator looking like he wants to slowly trade out his Zealots, perhaps. 2 more Stargates on the way. 2 more Stargates for Geralt. 3 more, in fact. And finally throws down the Fleet Beacon. Technically 5 Stargates built before adding the Fleet Beacon. Also, yeah, that air armor is... That's got to be a mistake. It definitely should be air weapons first. And in this position, with the economies they have, you can make a strong argument for double cyber. Oh, Revelation. That can be a great way to enable you to see the disruptors that you need to lift, by the way. Third carrier is going to finish relatively soon. We'll see if Geralt goes straight into Tempests. Okay, there it is. He is going to go for second cyber. And there, he does have the +1 air weapons queued up. So, obviously, that was a little bit of a misstep. Do we have DT Blink? We do for Geralt. DT Shrine just completed for Creator. Geralt does have a better balance of his economy. Oh, Zealots are going to split up here. Meanwhile, Stalkers on the top side. Oh, Stalkers for Creator as well. Well, they're going to be in some trouble. Ugh. Oh, they did not get retreated out. Uh-oh. But it's also Geralt. Did he recall? I think so. Yeah. Looks like Creator is more than okay, though, with just sacking the Stalkers. Sacking the Stalkers, sacking the Zealots, because he's building 4 carriers at once. However, Tempests are extremely good against carriers if they have the vision and room to kite. And that's a twofold thing. The vision, that's going to be up to the Revelations, most likely from an Oracle. Speaking of which, there it is. There's the Oracle starting up. And the range is just seeing it from far away. I do wonder if the actual armor is on purpose because the carriers, they are like DPS fiends, you know? They are upgrade fiends. Oh, wow. Somehow 5 Immortals have slipped across the map and sniped a Nexus. That's kind of sick. If you can kill the Robo, that would be really nice too. Oh, he's going to kill a second Nexus. Also, this gas has not been taken. This is actually such a sick little play. There's a DT warp in the main. Phoenixes will come back. We'll clean this up. This was actually such a great way to sack these Immortals. Trade them out. Second Forge, by the way, has been added in. So it's +1 ground armor as well. Geralt is going to be getting every upgrade under the sun. Will he get the Tectonic Destabilizers? Yeah, Tempest anti-building upgrade. Perhaps. God, this army for Creator, though, is so strong in a fight. Very tough if it gets kited.
Upgrade complete.
Oh, there's the Revelation. Geralt needed that, but this army is already kind of on his doorstep. Probes are going to get pulled away from this base. There's so many static defenses. Time Warp getting dropped. Oh, that was Geralt's Time Warp. So Creator still has his. Disruptors are going to connect on a couple Archons. Ooh, Phoenix has actually managed to get some lifts there. I think in this scenario, Creator's army is going to be much stronger with no kiting. Interceptors are out. The Tempest will get eaten alive if the Interceptors can get on top of them. Geralt about to finish up his next shield upgrade. That's going to be very beneficial, but it hasn't finished yet. Meanwhile, there's somehow DTs in the fight. Creator, yeah, he's going to get held. He's going to get pushed back. And there's still quite a few Tempests here blinking forward and on top of the army, but can he get the chase down on this mothership? It's very close to going down. Creator will save it for the moment. This feels like it's been a good fight for Geralt so far. Cloaking Field now reactivating, and there's actually no detection. No, there is an observer here. Okay. Blinking forward, though. He wants the mothership, but he won't get it. Good control from Geralt. He's doing a really, really good job of not letting the carriers, especially in the last, half of this fight, not letting them get in range. And the age-old question of Tempest versus Carrier. Score another one for the Tempest on this one. Looks like not a single Tempest has actually died yet. That's crazy. Time Warp really good at keeping these units out of the fight here. Geralt may want to back away, as obviously getting too close to your opponent's base is going to enable a lot of warp-ins. There's 14 gates. Oh, the stasis! He loses the mothership, but he catches so many of the Stalkers. Meanwhile, it is now Tempest being added in by Creator. Air upgrades will make sense to them later. Stalkers warped in. Ooh, he's going to be able to hunt down some of these Tempests of his opponent. It is going to come back to Stalker versus Stalker. The army of Creator, a lot of it will wake back up. It is a better upgraded ground army. What is that? 313 versus 312. I guess that's pretty close. Meanwhile, Tempest going to get blinked on. A couple of them do get taken down. Geralt will warp in DTs and Zealots. Of course, the DTs can blink on top of the Stalkers in theory. And they are going to do exactly that. No detection, though. There's no detection. Creator is going to be very much caught here. Oh, man. To steal another great line from Roddy. That was a bit of a box art fight right there. Damn. I'm trying to make sense of that, and it's crazy. That was just an insane fight. Battle Report had it going for almost 3 minutes straight. There's a bit of hurry up and wait, but eventually, it came down to a big action-packed sequence. Oh, now it is going to be both players kind of missing their opponent's army. And, oh, I love that. Geralt recognizes these static defenses are bound by an Artosis pylon. Very nice Rupture shot to make sure the probes cannot escape. It may end up not mattering too much, or it could end up being a big deal, depending on how long they kind of base trade for. Geralt going to be able to save a lot more of his probes. That's... Oh. Oh. I think our PC had a little poopski right there. Definitely panicked a little. Heh. Oh. Warp Prism will get taken out. There was a small warp in. Revelation does see the army, but it's hard to see how many disruptors there are. There's 6. But, oh man, is he just going to go for it with the pure Zealot Stalker? Time Warp will get dropped. The Blink is ultra aggressive. Oh, this is a very bad fight for Creator. It is tech army versus no tech. And Gateway Man will not get it done here in game number 1. Creator was in a very desperate position. But Geralt crushing it. The words of Zombie Grub, a barn burner. Nice. I'm not sure you're supposed to blink into that many Archons. I also am not sure if that's the recipe for victory. But I do think it was going to be a really tough game regardless. After the fight in the middle went the way that it did. There was a chance still. But I also feel like that's Geralt's wheelhouse, you know? All right, quick 30 seconds of ads before we get into game number 2. Glad we got the chance to run 3 minutes of ads before this, because otherwise we were going to be having a tough time. We're going to be having a real tough time. Thank you for the follow. Geek Kicker. Damn. I don't know if I can agree with the concept behind the name, but it's kind of funny. No, don't kick me. Nah, it's all good. That's I think that's not that that's not like a, you know, crazy, like you're not like, oh man, how could he ever do that? What a stupid thing to do, blah blah blah. Like I think it's reasonable. All right, here we go. Spawning down on the bottom left. It is Creator in the red. And his opponent spawning up the top right. It is Streamer Zone's Geralt in the blue. Just a name from nickname generator? Ah, that's kind of funny. That's a funky nickname generator, I'll say that. Yeah, if I'm Creator, I don't think I want the game to go like that again. I don't think I want it to go super late. Now, I will say Old Republic is a very strong defensive map. And I don't think we're going to see I don't know what the vetoes were, but I don't think we're going to see another map that will play out the same way. To be honest, there's not really any other maps in the pool where I think you can easily have it play out the same way. Creator's going to take matters into his own hands, though, and may very well just decide to get very aggressive for the rest of the games in this series. It is worth noting, of course, that the first game was played on Central, which is a decent-sized ping advantage for Geralt. Not massive, but decent. Creator, it's going to be Proxy Robo. Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. Weirdly, it feels like it's been a while since I've casted a PvP with a Proxy Robo. Honestly, I think this is the most entertaining variant of PvP. And I know that that is going to be a controversial opinion. I know that playing against it, playing with it is not the most fun. But it's early action. It's very heavily micro-oriented. It's just fun. It's just fun to watch, fun to cast. Geralt's going to be looking around here. Creator does open up with 4 Adepts. Geralt will go for the Stargate in base. Oh, Double Stalker is going to cross the map here and actually will be able to bully these 2 Adepts a little bit. They've already started their shade, so they will get out of here, but he put some HP damage in there, which is not bad. 3rd gate going to be added in here. Very interesting. Creator, meanwhile, building a sentry and a shield battery at home. He's actually maybe a little bit worried here. Shield battery does complete, but Geralt will have this 1 Stalker trapped, and it's actually going to soak up all the shield battery's healing and will still go down. So a big mistake there from Geralt with the rally. If this pylon goes down, it might actually just be game. Recall is going to come through, but that's a big problem. Oh, he gets the warp in off. He gets the warp in. Creator didn't go after the pylon early enough with the Immortal. And now we've got a Void Ray about to pop out. 3rd gate is going to complete. Creator didn't know about the Stargate. So good job getting out of here without actually losing anything. Meanwhile, now the pylon has died on the other side of the map, so Geralt actually does get supply blocked a little bit. And it actually blocks his 2nd Stargate unit. Oh. Geralt looking for the Proxy Robo. Won't find it in time to deny the Observer. That's actually pretty important. If he had seen this right away, he could have been able to do so. Oh. We do have an aggressive move forward. He actually lifts up to the high ground. He's going for it as he sees... Oh my god, the prism goes down. Oh, that's a big problem for Creator. Geralt going to warp in Zealots, interestingly. I mean, those will be good against the Immortal. Phoenix does pop out. The next unit is once again blocked from coming out because of the supply block. Lift. Oh no, he's shooting his own gateway. I was like, why is the Immortal's HP not going down? He shot his own gateway for so long, though, there. Oi, oi, oi. That could have been a game-winning fight for Geralt. I was so confused. I was like, man, that Immortal really is living up to its name. Oh, that is super painful for Geralt. He's still in a good position in this game, but that... Oh, supply blocked again. Oh, man, these supply blocks are killing him. That should have been... Yeah, that should have been the game right there, I think. I know that saying stuff like should have or like, you know, like this player shouldn't be doing this or this player should be doing this is... It can be a little bit silly sometimes, but in this scenario, not realizing for as long as he did. Like, he actually... He did hull damage to his own gateway. Imagine that 500 plus damage into enemy units instead. Oh, that's just super, super painful. Honestly, as long as Geralt doesn't get tilted by that, it's fine. But yeah, that one does hurt. There's no way around it. Creator does have Blink. Creator might have drained the gateway shields earlier. Partially, yes, but I think if you went back and looked at the VOD, you'd see that if not all of it, likely the vast majority of that damage was from that. Instead, now it's, yeah, the game kind of resets. And it's a much faster Blink. Phoenixes in small numbers are not the most amazing units. I honestly feel like Geralt should maybe add a third or fourth Phoenix just to get some value. It's hard to target an Immortal box in the air. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Hey, no. If I had a nickel for every time I've misclicked, I'd have many a nickel. Maybe even enough to buy bionic hands that wouldn't misclick. I don't even know if they exist, but that's how many times I've misclicked. They could probably afford the R&D to research and invent them. If I ever became a drag queen, my name would almost definitely be Miss Click. Like that, I can't overstate how bad I am at clicking the mouse. That's actually so good. We are going to have the Phoenixes able to potentially lift up an Immortal here. Geralt does have Blink completing. Creator won't have Charge yet. Immortal Barrier doesn't trigger if you lift it. Yeah, it's not until the unit takes damage. Or would take damage. Welcome to Josel. Creator doing a good job of zoning his army. I do love the hallucination here. Ah, it actually does bait the lift and the target fire. Initially, Void Ray will get on top of this. Probe pull is going to be very unsuccessful as the Stalkers are in the way. But, oh, really nice force fields coming in from Geralt. Void Ray does get taken down. Guardian Shield is going to be good here. Phoenixes will get killed. Nice force fields coming in from Creator, locking these Immortals down, and now the probe pull really going to work. And that is going to be an outstanding defensive fight for Creator on the tail end. Initially didn't look amazing. Oh, nice blink forward, snipes to Prism. Geralt going to try and counterattack here. He knows that his army supply is just way too far down. Creator. Well, if it does turn into a base trade, it is a big advantage for Creator in terms of moving first and having a bigger army. But ultimately, does he have enough to hold? No. No, I don't think so. +1 weapons is also done for Geralt. Or sorry, for Creator, not Geralt. Immortal's Barrier gets triggered. Creator blinks in, snipes it. And that should be all she wrote, I think. I just don't think there's enough for Geralt here to hold. And GG will get called. This could have, and I don't want to say it, but probably should have been a 2-0 lead for Geralt, but Creator gets to battle back and now is on even footing in this series. Damn. I do want to say good target fire from Geralt with the Immortals in the fight. But that is a tilter of a game. Hey, welcome Teddy Triple. Hope you are doing well. Oh. Oh. The semifinals have been kind of bangers of this series. Of this tournament, I should say. Once again, big thank you to the Platinum Heroes and Platinum Esports for putting on this tournament. Been some, I would say, very entertaining games. Percival vs. Cristiano was pretty freaking sick. Freaking sick. Very cool. Recalled Immortal can still use its barrier. Oh, neat. I did not know that. That's cool. Like, even if it's not active before. So it's an innate ability then. So that is to say you can still bait out the Immortal's barrier even when it's been recalled. All right, here we go. Spawning up at the, down in the top, in the bottom right. There. Oh, you can manually activate it is what you're saying. Wait, what? Recall doesn't block barrier from triggering? So you... wait, are you trying to say that you can stop Phoenix... Like, Phoenix can't lift a unit when it's recalled? Because I thought you still could lift a recalled unit. Or do you mean, like, you can't use recall... Lifted Immortal won't allow barrier to trigger. But recalled Immortal can still have its barrier being triggered. Wait, really? I actually didn't know that when an Immortal was lifted, it couldn't activate the barrier at all? Are you sure about that? Lift prevents it unless it was triggered from before. Huh. Do units still gain energy when they're lifted? I know that when you lift an egg, it pauses the duration... Or it pauses the progress of a Zerg egg. So is it like a stasis trap where it stuns it and freezes it in time? What if it's a Protoss player not named Trigger? You like tomatoes? That's good. Tomatoes can be very healthy. All right, what do we have here? We've got expansions. Twilight Council from Creator is quite a bit faster. The egg is still an egg in the air. Yeah. So if it's entirely possible that the Phoenix, when it lifts a unit, it causes its abilities, the abilities of the unit, to enter a stasis-like status. Hey, very cool. Thank you, my friends call me Coach. Thank you for the follow. My friend recommended me SC2 streamers, and you popped up. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you. This is a predominantly commentary channel. So we get to see some players that are vastly better than all of us, myself included, play the video game. And then we get to point out the little mistakes that they make, even though they're 1,000 times better. No, it's more like just enjoying the games. Brood War veteran and barely touched SC2. Every time you watch SC2, I get confused 75% of the time. SC2... what's the biggest differences between SC2 and Brood War? Obviously, you know, I'm sure you know all of them, really. supplies are a lot more... They identify the state of a game a lot more than in SC2. I feel like Zerg supply in Brood War is so much lower. 75% of the time. I'm confused 100% of the time. Oh, force fields do get dropped, but they're actually not ideal. And the Adepts can potentially just get out of here. Well, actually, no. He will corner these. Do we see a recall or... Not. Looks like he is going to be able to chase these down. Good job. Very nice movement from Creator to make sure to track down the second Adept. Geralt will complete his blink. Creator is actually down a decent amount of workers, but Creator has a decent army supply advantage. And that is because Geralt has gone for Dark Templar. Yes, exactly. It's much, much easier to hotkey and to utilize your units, and the what do you call it is not against you. If you have an observer at home, that will be able to detect this, but still going to be some damage coming in. Guardian Shield getting popped on both sides. That does negate 2 damage from every attack, every ranged attack. Adds +2 armor to your units. Pylon could get killed off here to prevent warp-ins, but defensive setup is going to be good. Good blink micro here from Creator. Well, from both players, really. But Creator is at risk of getting routed a little bit. Geralt is going to come out of this with a really significant probe lead. Yeah, so one of the most valuable things is being able to read the inner overlay. So the numbers next to this little wrench icon is worker counts. And then this is army supply. And then this is minerals and gas. And then this is overall supply. There's generally speaking, there's a lot more information. Those Dragoon looking ass teleported? Yes. Yeah, these are the StarCraft 2 version of the Dragoon. They are lower HP. I think lower damage. Faster attack speed, though, I'm pretty sure. But more importantly, much more maneuverable because they're not Brood War Dragoons. And also they have blink. So their mobility is extremely strong. And since so many of the attacks in StarCraft 2 are projectiles, being able to dodge your opponent's shots is really beneficial. So if you blink while a projectile is incoming, you will dodge the shot entirely. Geralt does have +1 weapons done, but Creator has a significant army supply advantage, like really, really big here. And he's got charge done. So his Zealots are zooming into the fight. Geralt does have charge completing in a moment. Zealots with their double attack do benefit a lot from this, but it looks like the army of Creator is just a little bit too strong right now. Geralt not expecting this attack. Creator has a big warp in coming behind this. Energy recharge is on cooldown, so he can't overcharge the battery. Not overcharge, but recharge the battery. Shield battery, of course, able to heal up those shields. But once it's out of juice, it is useless. It is a paperweight. And Creator, he is going to come roaring back in this series. Will put himself up 2-1 now. In PvP, I would say, yeah, so in StarCraft 2 PvP, there are units that are somewhat like the Reaver in Brood War PvP, where obviously the Reaver has incredible power and can really dictate... Sorry, I just want to close some tabs so that we get a little bit less power draw. There are units called the Disruptor, but it's harder to get up to Disruptors in StarCraft 2. Lift stops the cooldown of all units except Zealot Charge and Immortal Barrier for some reason. Maybe because those are auto-cast abilities. Wait, I wonder if you put an ability on auto-cast that normally wouldn't be, would it continue to be... Would it continue to change the cooldown? Cyclone stops running his cooldown. Huh. Okay. Are there any other Protoss units that can have something on autocast? No, you don't need to apologize for asking questions. I appreciate it, in fact. It's easy to forget that not everyone has been following this game for, 16 years? All right, here we go. Spawning down in the bottom right. It is Creator. In the red. And his opponent spawning up at the top left. It is Streamer Zone's Geralt. In the blue. You've also noticed that one person upgraded Zealot speed, and I didn't see Zealots moving fast. What's up with that? Well, actually, so in this game, it's not leg enhancements, which is just the speed increase. Exactly, it is called Zealot Charge. And it does give a very large speed increase, but it also causes on, I believe it's an 8-second cooldown. Funnily enough, I actually don't know the number off by heart because I think it's 8 seconds. I'll have to double check that, but it's a relatively short cooldown. The Zealot will, on autocast, once its attack moved, charge to the closest enemy unit and close with them. Like their speed, it's not quite a blink. It does still have to travel there, but it moves very, very, very quickly. Like way faster than units could avoid it. But it does also passively increase the speed of those units by a lot too. Like I think Zealots with without speed are below 3 movement speed, and with it they're like close to 5. Once again, I'll have to look that up. Some of the numbers, I don't know them off heart, by heart, off by heart. But yeah, they can basically keep up with stimmed bio. As long as the bio doesn't have the Marauder ability Concussive Shells, which will slow enemy units for a period of time. Like a second and a half or so. Oh, Creator does manage to shade this Adept away. Actually, honestly, in StarCraft 2, so many units have abilities. As you can see right here, the Adept has something... the ability is called Psionic Transfer, which is an activatable ability. Ooh, meanwhile, Force Field, very nice probe block on this unit. Recall going to try and come through. Does save the Stalker. Yeah, we just saw like 4 abilities used there. Psionic Transfer, Sentry Force Field, I guess 3, and Recall. So Recall is a Nexus ability. God, yeah, there's so many more abilities in StarCraft 2 than there are in Brood War. It's crazy, actually. Adepts, by the way, are really strong for Harass. As you can see, they're able to one-shot probes with 2 of them. And they attack quite quickly. They also actually have an upgrade that makes them attack even faster. And in Zerg versus Protoss, can be used to deadly effect to kill drones. But also in PvP, they can be good as part of a 2-base all-in. Or potentially even a 3-base play. You pair them with Immortals, which are the anti-armor ground weapon of the Protoss. Ground to ground, I should say. Oh, 3 more probes do go down. Generally, for a double Adept Harass squad to be worth it, you want to get it usually like 3 to 4 probes. Anything more than that, it's usually very good. Adepts do cost 100 minerals, 25 gas, so you're investing 250 resources. But since you're killing workers, it's opportunity cost loss. Meanwhile, the Oracle, also very good at killing workers. God, StarCraft 2 is very complicated. This is a flying unit that comes out of the Stargate, as all units that come out of the Stargate are. Yes. Also, gateways have something called Warp Gate. They can warp in units. Ooh, this is a very good scout here for Creator. Gets another 3 probes, but more importantly, sees the Dark Shrine. And before that, he had not built the robotics facility, so he would not have had detection. But now he will be able to get the Observer out. Geralt, I think he might commit to this Dark Shrine because he's gotten a pretty good scout on his opponent's base and knows that there was no robo. At least not immediately. Now, will he actually send the DTs across the map? That's a different question. Oh, there's no unit in the main. Shield battery wasn't done to protect the probes. But it was a quick warp in, and he will get a kill on the Oracle. Takes 9 shots from a Stalker to kill an Oracle. And with that blink, he's able to get it. Creator is now down a couple of workers, but he may very well end up getting a cancel on his opponent's 4th base. Geralt was very far out of position with his Stalkers, and Creator is going to be able to very likely get that cancel. Yeah, he will. That is an excellent, excellent play for him, and will put him now, I would say, very far ahead economically. He's now up a full base on his opponent as his 3rd base is completed, and Geralt has to restart his. Yeah, that's oh, that actually might be too much for Geralt to recover from at this point. Creator did actually take probes off of his natural gas. And is only okay, now he resaturates it. Okay. So that was maybe just a... I'm not actually sure. Maybe just an over-transfer, and he's like, oh, okay. As he was grabbing the probes. He does still only have 2 probes on this gas in the main. Is that on purpose? We will see. Another Oracle was created here, by the way. Oh, Stalker's trying to poke into the natural. Geralt knows he's behind after the loss of the 3rd, so he feels like probably he has to get something done. Try and catch up. Both players are adding on additional gateways, but it is actually Geralt that's into a full gateway production setup right away. Or earlier, I should say, which is 8 gates is the general setup. Welcome back, Special. Welcome back, Juanito. I'm actually very curious as to why Creator's gates were kind of late. They're going to all come online now, though. 10 gates. Oh, that's a nice find right there for Geralt, and that will be a cancel on Creator's 4th base. So Geralt finally has something going his way. Ooh, Stasis Trap! That's going to catch some Stalkers. That is a big find. Fortunately for Creator, he did not blink into this. If he had, that would have been a disaster because the blink would have stayed on cooldown. Yes, exactly. We don't have minus damage. You have damage bonuses. So instead of doing less damage against different unit types, you do bonus damage against different unit types. So, yeah, the Immortal does extra damage versus armored units as opposed to... What is it? The Hydralisk doing negative damage versus, like, Zealots, for example. Ooh, Stasis Trap in the natural. That does trap these units, or can. Geralt doing a really good job with his Blink Stalker movement, and will get another cancel on his opponent's 4th base, and has now kind of flipped things around. Even though this only traps 1 probe for the duration, he forces a lot of lost mining time. Geralt was able to recall out... I kind of missed that. And it looks like Creator did as well. Geralt with a much faster +2 weapons also. And since Protoss units attack, they hit very hard. Upgrades are, attack upgrades in particular, are very beneficial. Oh, attack coming in here from Creator. He does not want to go up this ramp. Oh, he definitely does not want to attack up a ramp here. There's no up-ground, high-ground miss chance. But your opponent is going to be able to get a much better defensive concave. Oh, Creator, does he know about this stasis trap? He does not. And that is a monster trap. 11 Stalkers getting hit there. And it is +2 weapons done for Geralt as well. Revelation also triggering on the Observer. That will reveal it. Creator is not going to be able to fight this particularly well. The Archons are not doing terribly, but it's just you're down 22 army supply functionally relative to what your actual supply is. Good target fire on the Oracle gets the kill. He's also down an upgrade. Creator. Oof. Getting absolutely blasted there by the stasis trappies. Geralt. That's so funny because the second Oracle, I mean, it feels like it's not supposed to do anything, you know? But it kind of won him the game. Well done. Well done. Also, getting a cancel on your opponent's 4th base twice is very good. Very, very good. All right, we're going to Game 5 now for the second semifinal in a row. Those poor Dragoons got arbitered. Exactly. Exactly. All right, we got to run a minute and a half of ads. Fortunately, we will miss the first part of the game, but it's better than missing the actual game. Oh, yeah. Archons are incredibly strong in StarCraft 2. Versus Terran, they are not anywhere near as strong because the Ghost, unlike in StarCraft 1, where it's kind of a meme unit, unless you can have God tier lockdowns. Yeah, it's kind of garbage. But versus Terran, versus Protoss, Ghosts have an incredibly strong ability where they can drain shields with EMP and energy. Beep, 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 beep. Archon's only good versus Zerg. I mean, they're pretty good against Protoss, too. Pretty good against Protoss. And they are really good against 2-base all-ins in a pinch versus Terran. They can simplify 2-base all-ins once you've held the first wave. All right, here we go. Spawning up at the top left, it is Creator in the red. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom right. For Streamer Zone, it is Geralt in the blue. Opinions about Ghost HP boost? Ghosts are really strong. Really strong now. I think it's good that they got the light tag so that there are some more direct counters to them. I actually agree with you on that one. My friends call me Coach. Yeah, I agree. I think the 12-worker start is incredibly fast. It used to be 6 in the first 2 expansions, in Wings of Liberty, the Terran campaign, and Heart of the Swarm, the Zerg campaign. But yeah, in Legacy of the Void, They upped it from 6 to 12. It was a very slow burn to start the game with 6 workers. But I do think that this is a personal opinion. Not everyone shares this. But I do think that 12 has accelerated the economy a little too hard. Some of the decision making for build order viability and build order volatility has been removed. Yeah, I mean, exactly, the 6 pool. Sure, you can 12 pool, and it can be effective up to a certain level, but there were some builds that were really cool, in my opinion. By the way, Game 5, we are proxying a Stargate, and Geralt, he did get, obviously, proxy roboed in the second game, but this is a different beast. Now, he knows that there's something going on because the second pylon was not placed inside of his opponent's main. And Geralt is going to open up with his own Stargate again. He's doing the same response that he did versus, well, in game number 2. 2016 Legacy of the Void was a cheese fest, though. It was. It was. But that's because the game also wasn't as figured out. Now it is a lot more figured out. That's the thing. It's also been 10 years since Legacy of the Void came out. This is an incredible scout. Does he have the time to deny this Oracle? Yeah, I think he does. Oh, this is so bad for Creator. This is so bad for Creator. 34 of 37. Ay, ay, ay. Geralt is going to get a gigantic advantage with this now. Creator is going to try and contest this. Oh, and he does get the first shot, but oh, the vision blocker of this seaweed is so good. However, Creator with some good good stalker micro, and he will actually be able to win to this little skirmish. Probe is chasing. Oh, that's a big kill right there. Oracle is going to force the recall, but the Stalker will escape. Man, very funny little scenario. He's going to go after the pylon. On the other side of the map, an air-to-air unit, the Phoenix, will pop out. Doesn't kill the Oracle fast, but it will kill it eventually. Oh, and not just eventually, very quickly now. That is brutal for Creator. Geralt coming out of this very far ahead now. Even though the worker counts are the same, having an Oracle is a massive advantage. Fortunately for Creator, there's already a shield battery at home. He's actually only mining with 2 probes on his gases in the main. That is very interesting. I mean, it has to be on purpose if it's both of them. Oh, that's a bit of a mistake right there from Geralt. Does he lose the Phoenix? Not quite. There's a shield battery in the natural for Creator. He's going to be able to defend. So this is not as bad of a situation as it could be. He's still got plays to make, for sure. And he's not out of this game. But stasis trap. Oh, good job from Creator. He actually pulled the probe away, which means that the stasis trap, when it activates, it won't block the position of the Nexus. And there really isn't a super viable other position to take your third base. So it's very important that he didn't get that blocked. Otherwise, the Nexus would have been delayed another... yeah, it's only 12-second difference, but it does matter. Oracle in the main base will force, once again, a bunch of lost mining time. Recall does save the Oracle. It is not a crazy long cooldown on recall, but it is still a decent bit of time. That Phoenix, by the way, does get taken out. It already achieved its objective, though, of killing the Oracle. Geralt will start to move out aggressively. Oracle dropping a stasis trap for the forward position. There's that Resonating Glaives, the adept attack speed upgrade. And that can deal with charge lots extremely well. Creator does have his third Nexus completing now. Oracle going to drop a stasis trap in the main base once again. Will Creator respond? The answer is yes. And Geralt's going to be able to put this into the corner, but Creator survives a scary moment. And despite the advantage that Geralt's had with this... Oh, nice job from Geralt right there. Does snipe down one of his opponent's stalkers and gets out with all of his. Oh, yeah, it's... The depth of micro in StarCraft 2 is not quite as complex as, like, yeah, Muta micro in Brood War. Oh, this stasis trap. That is scary. Immortal's Barrier does get put on cooldown. The barrier soaks up a lot of damage. But it can be baited out and put on cooldown. Geralt is going to have charge finishing up. Creator will hold for the moment. Where is the... Oh, this is big. Geralt is going directly into Archons, which is going to be a really good answer against the Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts can be extremely good if your opponent commits heavily to charge lots. To those Zealots. Oh, Vision Blocker once again saving Geralt. Creator is going to be committing hard here. He's got a Prism. Stasis traps defensively, as well as shield batteries and cannons being added in here. Once again, Geralt with a very nice snipe on his opponent's Stalker and gets another one. The ping advantage, Geralt is taking full advantage. Creator is going to need to make a miracle happen. He does take down the cannon. Zealots will get in on top of this. Blink forward, looking for the Immortal. Does get it taken out. Archons are going to be able to retreat out. Actually, the Adepts are not doing terribly here. Archon's not really getting on top of them. Oh, that shade forward was a massive blunder from Creator, and he is just going to end up throwing all of these Adepts away. Not sure that this would have worked out okay for him anyways, as he was super committed. But that was a pretty rough shade. So those Adept shades, you can cancel them manually. But if you don't, they will go to where the... at the end, they will go there. Yes, the Immortal... So, yeah, the lore in StarCraft 2 is that Immortals are Dragoons that have been retrofitted to be more durable. I think Geralt was winning the fight there anyway, but the shade did not help. Yeah, exactly. I think he was winning the fight, and I think even if Creator doesn't shade forward, even just retreating out is not enough for him, because it's 4 base to 3. It's better tech for Geralt with the Archon tech and the charge done. It is now going to be Percival versus Geralt for the Grand Finals. This Oracle is like Arbiters. They can mass recall, teleport enemies, but no invisibility. They cannot recall, but they can stasis trap, which is not exactly like the freezing field, but similar. Yeah, it's actually the Mothership is the closest thing to the Arbiter, because it's got the Cloaking Field, and the Recall. But you only get one mothership. It's a hero unit. You can't build more than one. Which is obviously quite interesting. Welcome, Matty Cheese. It's like Matty Ice, but Matty Cheese. You like Dragoons more than Immortals? I actually... I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really made a crazy... Or haven't really, like, had a super strong opinion. I'm going to run a quick minute and a half of ads once again. We'll win this best of 5 TVP Grand Finals. I wonder if Percival would rather face Geralt or Creator. Facing Creator means... facing Creator means he would have, you know, played with lower ping. But facing Geralt might not be quite as fierce of an opponent to Percival. Depends a lot. Thank you for the Lalo Dasha UFA. Dasha. Yeah, it's very interesting that you can only build one. I thought Immortals are like Dreadnoughts from 40k, fallen heroes who keep carrying their duty after their mind was put into Death Machine. I think that is... Well, that's what Dragoons were. Yeah, that's what Dragoons were in StarCraft Brood War. Yeah, let's look up the stats of the mothership here. I know that it is 8 supply. It is 8 supply, costs 400 minerals, 400 gas, takes 89 seconds to build, has 350 HP, 350 shields, 2 armor, has 6 attacks, or sorry, 4 attacks that do 6 damage versus ground. Oh, sorry, ground and air. Oh, yeah. 3 abilities. Time Warp, which slows attack speed and enemy unit movement by 40%. Mass Recall, which can recall a bunch of units. That's on a minute-and-a-half cooldown. And then Cloaking Field, which cloaks up your units for 20 seconds and is on just a 50-second cooldown. All right, here we go. Spawning up in the top left, it is Kirktown's Percival. In the blue. And his opponent spawning down in the bottom right for Streamer Zone, it is Geralt. In the red. Hey, welcome Dave Testa. Percival, yeah, you missed it. Or maybe you didn't. He had a reverse sweep versus Christiana that was pretty freaking sweet in the round of 4. You got the end? D-Gen hours. Brood War is heavily inspired by the Warhammer 40k universe. That is true, actually. It is. Yeah. Is it Geralt or Gerald? If you're on the EU server, it's Geralt. If you're on the NA server, it's Gerald. I do wonder how Geralt is going to match up against Percival here. Percival will pull 2 SCVs. He wants to go for the 1 Rax expand. TVP, by the way, Terran versus Protoss in StarCraft 2 is drastically different than it is in Brood War. In Brood War, you play mech. That is it. You play mech, and bio is not viable. In StarCraft 2, it is completely the opposite, where you play bio and mech is not viable. Oh, finding the probe is very, very nice with the Marine. Geralt just kind of sent it over there. Dropping the angry emojis. That's funny. Meanwhile, it's actually going to be a 3-Rex? Very interesting, actually, out of Percival here. So it is Marine Reactor into a sneaky double Reaper. He's got the cool shades. So Reapers have an ability that allows them to jump up and down cliffs, which is very valuable. Geralt. Oh. Did he see those 2 Reapers? I think so. Oh, he did. Percival. Oh, he does take the second shot here. And that is going to make it very difficult. Oh! But he gets through the sight blocker. Unfortunately, he is still going to lose this at Reaper almost certainly. However, the split up of the Reapers was quite nice. That will still enable him to get 1 probe. Unfortunately, 1 probe for 2 Reapers is very, very ineffective. Now, when he was spotted, should he have just gone for the Stalker? In hindsight, yes. But there's always a chance that Geralt missed to this. And if he does, those Reapers slip across the map unexpectedly, get into a main base, and there's no units there. You can kill 4, 5, maybe even 6 probes if your opponent is out of position. Percival is trying to be very sneaky in this game number 1. Another very unexpected move out with this 6 Marine push. This is very much not a timing. Oh, that's a good scout right there from Geralt. And this Adept is going to be able to find potentially a... Well, actually, nice pullback from Percival. Might not get any workers. Good defense there after the Adept got in. Yeah, instead of medics, you go medevacs. So they combined the dropship and the medic into a single unit. It also does not require the equivalent of a control tower in this game, which is called a tech lab. And also, their Terran buildings get an additional add-on called the Reactor, which allows you to build 2 of the basic units at a time instead of just 1. So in order to build Marauders, for example, you need a tech lab on a barracks, or Ghosts, as well as the Ghost Academy. Oh, we're going to see a little attack coming in here. Recall to a different base. Marine's actually kind of going to occupy the Stalker's attention. Percival will need to stim up the ramp again. There was no sentry at the top of the ramp. Oh, he actually loses vision as the hallucinated Phoenix gets taken out. And that's going to enable Percival to do a lot more with this 3-Rex than he ever should have been able to do. The lack of a sentry to force field the ramp. 9 probes end up going down. It's still going to be very expensive. Will Percival... Oh, he just rallied these units in. He did not stim. Geralt should be able to chase these down. I think Percival just has to stim out. He's not, though, and that's going to give Geralt the opportunity to potentially chase this army down. That's a lot of valuable bio units going to get taken out. Good blink forward from Geralt. We'll get 4 out of the 5 bio units. They all could have escaped if he stimmed right away. Would it have been ideal? No. Would it have been better than losing 4 out of the 5 of them for free? Yeah. A lot better. I still like Percival's position quite well in this game. He's got a 3rd command center done. His first 2 medevacs are now out. He's up in SCVs. And Terran also has the... Instead of having a comsat, they get an orbital command, which attaches to the command center. It's a part of it. And has an ability to drop mules as well as scan. And those mules mine 25 minerals per trip. They last 64 seconds. And if they're on a close mineral patch, they will get 9 mining trips, which is 225 minerals. So they're functionally worth about 4 workers. Very, very, very powerful boost to the Terran economy, but also necessary because they build workers the slowest of all the other races. Recall will try and save these stalkers. Percival, though, is able to kill a couple of them before they can retreat. Stalkers are not cheap either. 125 minerals, 50 gas. Protoss does have Psionic Storm on the way. It is going to finish its research. Geralt getting up to 9 gateways in a moment. And he's about to have a 4th base. But Percival will have ghosts hitting the field. Well, a ghost hitting the field very shortly. It is going to be 3 tech labs, 2 reactors. Oh, that is a decent little storm coming through. Storm also was changed just recently. It used to be a very different spell than it is now. Good spot on the attempted flank here coming in. Oh, and a nice pullback from Percival to avoid that storm. Geralt, oh, a little bit of a misrally. He goes through his own storm. Ultimately, Percival gets out of there without that being... yeah, a disaster, and it could have been pretty bad for him. 3 more barracks on the way for Percival. He's also got a 4th command center nearly done. He is ahead in upgrades. Oh, Percival's got to be careful right here. Thank you very much, my friends. Call me coach for the 4 gifted subbies, or 5 gifted subbies. Thank you. That is a lot of zealots on the right side, meanwhile. But good army management there. Good unit movement from Percival. Kiting with the right side and getting a decent little engagement on the left. Thank you very, very much. Additionally, thank you, Sean DePagan, for the Prime resub at 2 months. Bezos bucks. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you. Percival going to take the forward base, which is quite interesting. Appreciate the patience. Of course. Of course. Yeah. Honestly, it's sometimes good for me as a commentator, as a caster, to have people ask questions, because it kind of lets me break the game down to a more basic point and think about it in a way that I haven't in a while. Zealots will get found here, setting up for a counterattack. That's a very nice find. Minus like 700 minerals, something like that. Oh, the Ghost's going to get a massive EMP on the High Templar. All but one of them being drained of energy. Geralt, unfortunately, morphing the High Templar into an Archon. One of them did still have Storm available. EMP is very good also at hitting shields. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the EMP off there. A lot of this army is in some trouble. Big Widowmine splash on the Zealots. Geralt setting up with a run-by on the right side. Will potentially be able to cancel this base. Ah, no, it's going to get saved here. But on the left side, we do have an attack coming in. EMP. Well, it's able to hit some of the army and also force this back. Terran, if they can get to a very late game state, becomes incredibly powerful once they have all their tools. But it is very difficult to do so. Ooh, Geralt going to try and rotate his whole army to the left side here. Percival trying to kite. Storm is going to land. It's a good storm. Really good kiting from Percival on the left side, though. Medevacs are starting to run very low on energy. There is an upgrade, though, called Caduceus Reactor that the Fusion Core will unlock. Oh, that's a big blink. And on top of the army, Archon's getting some really good hits on this bio on the left side. Ooh, Percival went a little bit too far forward with the bio, and that means the Zealots are going to be able to find some good hits. Some good surface area. EMPs will land. Storms are not quite available. They're about 1 or 2 energy away on these High Templar. Storm does land. Ghost will... Oh, unfortunately, go back through this storm and will get taken out. Geralt is mining a lot of money. A lot more than his opponent. I think Percival needs the medevac energy upgrade right now. I think he needs it desperately. These medevacs are super low on juice. Geralt is up to now 7 bases. This is what a lot of Terran players are frustrated with right now, is the fact that the Protoss economy can outscale so hard in the mid game before Terran really has that big setup. We are going to see some Liberators sieging up here. They do clump up, but they're actually going to be able to get some good value. EMP on the Zealots, but there's not a whole lot of Marines here. There's just so many Zealot reinforcements. Percival trying to utilize this position. Medevac microing the bio units out of harm's way. Every stim, by the way, does 20 damage to Marauders when they stim, as opposed to the 10 damage to Marines. Percival is really struggling to keep it together here. Geralt has done an excellent job of ramping the aggression up. And now a Prism going to be able to warp Zealots directly into the fight. And this is looking like it is too much for Percival to handle. Geralt. Unrelenting pressure. For a while, Percival was doing very, very well. But unfortunately, I think he mishandled one of the fights out in front of the base. And it is a little bit too much to recover from, with Geralt keeping the aggression ramped up so hard. Oh, yeah, Libertine TY. That's the thing. It's really neat how you can learn things. I mean, I'm still learning stuff in StarCraft 2. I'm still learning stuff, even with casting, you know, thousands upon thousands of hours. Geralt messaged me. I have no idea how I won that. Yeah, I've played over 27,000 ladder games. Instead of Firebats, there is actually a unit called the Hellion, which transforms into the Hellbat when you get an armory. It has the ability to swap. So the Hellion is very, very fast and does area of effect in a line. And the Hellbat is very slow, more HP, actually gains the biological tag, so can be healed by a medevac, and still can be repaired, though, so it's also still mechanical. It's a very funny unit. But does a cone of very short range AoE, so it's very good against Zerglings in a choke in particular. All right, let's get into game 2. Whereas Hellions are much, much, much more mobile and much more microable. It's actually a really neat dance, the Hellion versus Zergling micro. Really, really cool. Hellion's also extremely good at killing workers, particularly drones. I mean, they're good at killing probes too, but you don't make Hellions every game where in a versus Protoss, but versus Terran or versus Zerg, you can make them every game. And that is a completely viable way to play. Spawning down in the bottom left, it is Kirktown's Percival. in the blue. And his opponent clutching that one out. It is Streamer Zone's Geralt in the red. I mean, that's kind of what I was alluding to from the series between Cristiano and Percival is you keep needling at your opponent. Percival initially was handling the situation extremely, extremely well. And then I think he move commanded his second group of bio right on top of the Zealots. And that swung that fight very hard in the favor of Geralt. And if that doesn't happen, I think Percival's able to stay maxed out. I think he, gets up to the Liberators. The 2-2 completes. It's a very, very different scenario. Hellion is like a Vulture plus Hellbat. Plus Firebat, yeah. Firebats on Vulture bikes? Kind of, yeah. They have wheels instead of bikes, but they're functionally very, very similar. Very fast unit. Good against light. Good at killing workers. And don't cost gas. Terran also has something called the Widow Mine, which is kind of like a replacement for the Spider Mine, but it's its own unit. Oh, Percival is going to be able to get a probe kill. Almost getting another one. The Adept on the other side of the map has been deflected. Reaper will get trapped in the main base, though. Good job from Geralt. Gets the kill there. It is still a scout on the Twilight Council. Oh, Adept is going to try and recall out. Will escape. A mine being a unit, that's wonky. Yes. It also can be targeted, but doesn't have an attack move. So you can't attack move with it. It also can only fire when it's burrowed. So this is it right here. This is the Widow Mine. So you can retarget it onto workers. Unlike the Spider Mine as well, it can attack workers. Important to note. Second and third barracks on the way for Percival. It will be a 2-mine drop. It also does area of effect damage. There's a lot of AoE abilities in StarCraft 2. It's kind of crazy. So Brood War has fights that are very long. And StarCraft 2 can also have long fights. But it feels like in Brood War, the fights develop more slowly. Whereas in StarCraft 2, if one player catches another player unprepared for a fight, and they have a big opening volley, let's say, the game can really, really... I mean, the game can end instantly. Oh, big Widow Mine shot. Ah, there we go. There's the retargeting of the mines. And there is a technique with the retargeting of just not letting it fire. Because once it fires, it goes from being cloaked while burrowed to uncloaked. 3 probes. And a decent bit of lost mining time is generally considered to be a pretty decent Widow Mine drop. And in this case, I would say it is... Yeah, I would say it's quite solid. Warcraft 3 now, those are slow fights. Those are very, very slow fights. But it also means you can have an extremely large amount of influence on them as the player microing, which there's obviously some appeal to. Okay, we are going to see the 8 Marine drop on the right side. Scouting this Raven is very good information. Stalkers are going to try and blink into the main base. They will get in on top of this. There's no tanks. That's what Percival gave up here, was building tanks, and that is going to be very bad for him as he loses stim super far along. A huge snipe on the upgrade. And a lot of SCVs are falling. Percival will need to kill a ton of workers in order for this to be an okay situation, and I feel like he's already been prevented from getting anything more. Geralt is going to be able to clean the Marines up. I like boosting out with the medevac to try and save that. But Geralt may very well be able to snipe that. Yes, he will. Nice shot, blinking to the low ground. Percival is... he cannot be feeling good about this game. Not at all. Losing Stim basically delays this attack by another 2 minutes. No, 3 minutes maybe. He didn't kill the Raven now. Just oh my god, he got the Raven too. The Raven does have a nice ability called well, a couple of nice abilities, but the main ones that you're gonna see is gonna be auto turret, and that gets you place that down and it kills workers in 3 volleys. It only lasts about 7 seconds, 7 to 9 seconds. I really need to double check the numbers on this because once again, it's kind of vibes at this point. Combat Shields is also quite an important upgrade because it gives Marines plus 10 HP. In Brood War, they have 40 HP, and that's just it. In StarCraft 2, they start with 45, and they go up to 55 with Combat Shields. Oh, Storms not being casted here. Big mistake from Geralt. Instead, he drops a couple feedbacks. He did have Storm available there. Double drop into the natural. There is a Storm available there. Stim will get used. These buyer units are actually going to work, and all of a sudden, this game has gone from amazing for Geralt to disastrous in no time at all. Wowie zowie. This is the power of Terran drops and Terran bio, is if you're not prepared for one, I mean, things can fall apart very quickly. Medevac's low on HP, so that means Geralt will be able to clean this up, but he has already lost so many workers, so many valuable units. And Percival on the other side of the map is landing his own 3rd command center. Somehow gets away with this Medevac with the 2 Marauders inside. This game looked so bad for Percival. Well, maybe not so bad, but it looked very good for Geralt, I'll say. Storm done, 4 bases up and running. Opponent hadn't yet landed his 3rd base. Denying Stim for as long as he had. Oh, Widowmines do manage to burrow. They get some big hits here. And this game is looking pretty much over. Storm's not going to be able to do enough damage here to stop the army of Percival. And we are going to be looking at a 1-1 scoreline. Kind of funny that both players, I would say, had very nice positions in their game and then went on to, went on to lose after all. This particular push will get pushed away, but there's a very iconic line from a player named Le Todd, the Warcraft 3 legend. And he was famous for saying, the soup does not lie. Which is to say, Luca di supply, it tells no lies. To the point where the legend of Luca D supply. Nice feedback there. There is a dance between High Templar and Ghosts, where you can feedback and drain the energy of the Ghost. But it is difficult to do so. This army is a little bit overstimmed, and the medevacs are a little bit overtaxed. I don't want to call the game too early, but I really don't feel like I've done so. Energy recharge is available. Unfortunately, there was the High Templar was not able to get energy recharged. Gain that 50 energy. He energy recharged this High Templar. It didn't have enough. It didn't have 25 energy, so I was worried he was going to do that. Instead, he feedbacks again, and Percival will close this one out. Oh, yes, there's no Dark Archon in StarCraft 2. For a while, they had tinkered with the idea of, instead of subtracting the Dark Archon, of adding the Twilight Archon, which was going to be a High Templar and a Dark Templar combined. But instead, they were like, no, that's too complicated. Which I think was a wise choice, because StarCraft 2 already has... It's already a very complicated game. All right, minute and a half of ads real quick. Yeah, the Dark Archon in Brood War, Maelstrom, I actually think, was a really, really underrated ability versus Zerg. I think it's fair to say that it was a pretty specific situation in which you could use it. But I think it was pretty cool. A bunch of unplayable units in SE2? Yeah. Yeah, like you couldn't... Or sorry, in SE1. In SE1. Yeah, yeah. In SE2, almost everything is viable. I would say right now the Swarm Host is probably the least viable unit, but even then there are scenarios where it's useful. Spawning down in the bottom right. For Kirktown, it's Percival. Battled his way back in that game. I mean, it wasn't just Geralt falling over on his own. That was Percival fighting back. And spawning up at the top left, it is Streamer Zone's Geralt. Yeah, the double drop sneaking into the natural. The pressure on the left side that killed a High Templar, forced a couple of feedbacks. It's easy to forget that, you know, even though Storm is a powerful ability, it is a little bit feast or famine in the sense that if you don't get value out of those High Templar, the investment is heavy. It's significant. Yeah, probably the most useless units in StarCraft 2, which is to say, like, we don't see them basically at all in pro play. There's not really a single unit that hasn't been made in at least one professional game in the last 6 months. The unit we've seen the least, I think, does have to be the Swarm Host. Yeah, Blue Jays season opening weekend. Yes. They won last night. That's pretty cool. They did my boy Swarm Host dirty. Yeah. Oh, we've got the early Zealot coming in from Geralt. It is a Marine opener. Bunker is not yet done. This is going to be a little awkward, actually, for Percival, especially with the Marine kind of hunting around for the early probe. Already one SCV going down. Second one is in duress. We're going to have to see a lot of SCVs being pulled. This is a very successful Zealot opener. Usually we don't see an early Zealot made in TVP. Oh, good SCV micro there from Percivale. Really good SCV micro, actually. Damn. Very, very well handled. That looked really nasty for him, and he turned it into not that bad of a situation. Managed to kill the probe, kill the Zealot. Only loses one SCV of his own. Oh, and he sneaks up on the Stalker. Geralt didn't respond right away. Percival should be able to kill this. Yeah, he will get it. For a second, it looked like there might have been an out, a position where he could escape. Very, very nice little move from Percival. Not attacking for just a little bit longer. Let him get that much closer to the Stalker. As Geralt didn't respond right away. I love the fact, by the way, that Percival puts the 2 wounded Marines into the bunker to keep them from being easily sniped. We should be careful, though. He doesn't have vision up this ramp, and that is going to turn this into a little bit of a precarious play. Trading out 4 Marines for a single Adept. That's not a great move. But I think it was a good enough start for Percival that it's not the end of the world. Still, I do generally feel that the Terran needs a better start now than the Protoss at this point. It's called the Adept, yes. Fun fact, the only female warrior in the Protoss arsenal, I believe. Every other unit is male, but the Adepts are kind of like the Valkyrie in Thor, is that right? I think so. I think they're like their own thing. Oh, the Oracle Pilot. Yes, the Oracle Pilot is female, isn't she? Oracle Perceiving? Yeah. Is the Mothership a female pilot? At any rate, it's definitely the only ground unit. We do have a shield battery on the way and an observer about to pop out, but cloak completes, and this is going to be at least a few dead probes. Oh, can he get that 4th probe? Yes, he does, before the shield battery completes fully and is able to save the probes. Oh, no. Okay, whew. Does put that back on hold position. Oh, the Zerg Overmind looking building. This is actually a path blocker that, because it's a Zerg building off of creep, it slowly loses HP over time and eventually expires. We're going to see SCVs pulling. This is going to be a stimless tank push, killing the sentry early to deny Guardian Shield is really very big. And he's going to get the kill on the pylon. That means no warp-ins at this base and no shield battery either. It is depowered. Banshee now rallying over to the right side. If he can get that over to this army, he can repair that up. Geralt's in huge trouble. Actually, he might just outright lose here. Charge is not yet done, so these Zealots get cleaned up very quickly. The one Banshee did die, but this Banshee does miss rally. Or these 2 Banshees miss rally. That's actually a pretty big mistake. But this is still a good situation for Percival. He's got to be careful because Zealot Charge really can shred tanks. However, there's not enough Zealots, is there? Percival just needs to make sure the tanks don't friendly fire, and he will be able to target on top of those Stalkers. Good job from Percy for the most part. Geralt did everything he could to get his units out of range and force the friendly fire. It wasn't enough. A couple more Zealots on the top side. Percival doing a really good job of avoiding the friendly fire despite Geralt's absolute best efforts. And this is looking like it is going to be far too much to handle. Percival now unsieging the tanks to make sure that no more friendly fire can come through. Outstanding move from Percivale there. And he now finds himself on championship points of this cheeky little tournament. Oracle, Adept, Mothership, Banshee, Queen. Yes. I was just talking about Protoss units, but the Oracle and Mothership, yeah. Siege tanks are very, very strong, unsieged in StarCraft 2. They have actually higher DPS than sieged tanks in StarCraft 2. They also shoot a lot faster. So I think in Brood War, the Dark Templars have 2 different logos. What's with that? Do you mean on the bottom? Because, yeah, I think it's just one of them, it's like a staff, like a 2-handed staff. One of them is like a scythe. Like a, yeah, like a double-edged staff. All right, let's get into game number 4. Potentially the final one of the series. And the tournament spawning up at the top right. It is Streamer Zone's Geralt. in the red. And his opponent spawning down to the bottom left with a very nice little tank push there. It is Kirktown's Percival in the blue. If you have like 8 selected, is 1 female, 1 male. It actually, some of the Dark Templar might be female even. But I thought they all have the male voice line, so I'm not sure. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Just interesting to note. The whole thing is that the Adept are like a warrior caste. And they're the only ones, as far as I know, that fall into that category. Like, it's like a position in society. Technically speaking, the Oracle is a female Dark Templar. Actually, that's a good point. Nice job from Geralt here. He does force the command center to be placed out of position. Oh, also something in StarCraft 2. Terran buildings fly so much faster than they do in Brood War. Like, to the point where if you ever see a Terran building flying for a while, you will be blown away by the speed of it. In the story, there's definitely female Dark Templar, 100%. Vorazun is the name. No flying singlet. Yeah, no flying NG bay. Yeah. You do not use a flying engineering bay to gain vision like in TVT. Or obscure stuff. There's a lot of things the flying engineering bay is used for in Brood War. It's kind of cool. Reaper will get into the main base. You see it also has an area of effect grenade that does 5 damage. And it does count as a spell. Oh, no body block there. Percival deciding to go around. Oh, great grenade. But this should get killed. There should be no way this gets out. Right? Right? No way! Oh my god, he could have shaded. Oh, that is the most tilting Reaper of all time. Oh my god, he did not just escape there. That... the Reaper also has the ability to regenerate HP out of combat. Wow, I really did not think that was going to live. Psychological warfare? Yeah. Geralt got a little lazy with not shading with the Adept. He just assumed he was going to kill that. And he ended up paying the price of... now your opponent just gets away. This is a nice pylon, by the way. This does block the Reaper jump point. Raven added in. Grenade does get dodged. We're going to see the blink upgrade completing. Also, something I never mentioned is that the Protoss have a... So all 3 races have a macro ability. Zerg has Inject. Terran has Mules. And Protoss has Chrono Boost, which is an ability that basically shaves 10 seconds off of any build time on any building that you cast it on. Blink forward going to come in. He will get the kill on the Reaper. So ultimately, nothing comes of that Reaper surviving for a little while. Actually, it's quite funny that you mentioned that. My friends call me Coach. That is a thing, kind of. It's called Bronze League Heroes. It's a pretty funny premise, I think. And it's quite popular. Bronze League Heroes, When Cheese Fails, Angry Coach. They all kind of amount to the same thing. Raven will get one probe kill, but it was a very quick reaction time from Geralt at the third base. We are going to see a little move out coming in. He snipes down one stalker. Ooh, the Adept actually does manage to slip past the army. And will get a kill. No, he doesn't. Nice job from Percival. Pulled back the SCV, and it does survive as a result. Meanwhile, Raven was able to drop another auto turret. Got 2 more kills. Raven is a detector, by the way, so it's able to reveal an observer. Scan, obviously, a detector as well. Charge is done. But so is Stim. No combat shields yet, and no +1 weapons here for Percival. You're going to see the siege tank siege up a little bit late. Percival, will retarget the tanks on top of those stalkers, and that's going to enable them to get a very good fight. And now Geralt is in huge, huge trouble. Combat shields will complete, and that is going to enable these these Marines to gain 10 extra HP. Robo facility will get taken down. And Percival is going to be able to get this. He's going to be able to get this victory. Oh, that was... Oh, wow. That was a very nice job right there from Geralt, recognizing the Widowmine right on top of the army. He warps in on top of the Marines and forces friendly fire. But it's not going to matter. Percival cooks. When he was down 2-0 in that series versus Christianer, I just really didn't think there was anything he's going to be able to get done. But he definitely proved me wrong, which is pretty freaking sweet. Well done by Percival. Very well done by Percival. And if you are watching on YouTube or wherever, that is going to do it for now for the StarCraft 2 phase of the stream. We're going to do a couple of brain teasers that I really enjoy. We'll call them the Daily Doles. And that will then... That'll pretty much wrap up the stream. Once again, big thank you to the Platinum Heroes and Platinum Esports for putting on this tournament. Congratulations, Percival. Really grinded it out there. Took down Shameless, Christianer, and Geralt, running a TVP gauntlet. Very well done. Very, very well done. And once again, thank you very much for the gifted subbies. My friends call me Coach. Hopefully we'll see you back around for YouTube. We're just going to switch off the YouTube stream for now. Thank you very much for everyone who tuned in on YouTube. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, YouTube.